pop R&B artist Jamela.
I pick Kelly. Yeah!
Handle this in the morning, please?
No, I think I want to handle this right now. You can give your time to the studio boy, but I think your man can get a few minutes. All right? Hey, don't walk away from me.
You're hurting me. Stop, please.
Get in the car.
I've been down this roller coaster, around in circles.
Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by Dollhouse Radio and Ende Morel. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on blogtalkradio.com, youtube.com, facebook.com, and twitter.com. via Periscope. Today is, of course, it's Monday. It's the 21st of September, the year 2020. We're back again with another show. So, you may have noticed that I just popped on here and we didn't have our little intro for Real Talk. That's because I'm in the midst of designing a new intro for Real Talk. So, I didn't want to go with the old one. Out with the old and with the new. So it's not ready yet. So we're actually looking at some other producers, and I looked at a few producers, and you know, it's okay. But I'm probably just gonna do it myself, like I did the first one. But I'm gonna do it with original music. I'm gonna do original track to it. So it'll be that, and the same shout outs that we had before. Maybe a couple of new ones. Hopefully by next week we'll be ready. So that'll be the new intro. Anyhow, welcome back. Thank you everybody for joining us again. We got a nice show lined up for you as usual. We're going to be talking, of course, we're going to talk about the 2020 Emmy Awards, which for the first time ever, it was virtual Emmys. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the, I'll talk a little bit about Power again. Book 2 Ghosts. My predictions are going right in line with what I said. It's going right in line with my predictions, my original predictions. Also, of course, we didn't get to it last week because we didn't have Kev. I believe we'll have Kev this week. And we'll be able to do the movie versus. Speaking of which, we'll have Kev this week. We'll do the movie versus, which is Charlize Theron versus Angelina Jolie. I do have a couple of. We do have an entry. I think we have a couple of entries we wanted to make, or re-entries. So we'll talk about that as we pull that up. We can just insert a film here and there, whatever. Also, starting off with the news, really, one of the biggest things in the news this week. There's a lot of things, but so the numbers for Mulan have kind of preliminary numbers have come in for Disney, and Disney numbers and Mulan, when they came in, it's like pretty good. Some of the preliminary numbers are showing that nearly 29% of Disney Plus users that accessed the app between September 1st and September 12th purchased Mulan for $30. They were doing the $30. You could purchase it early while it's like in the theater, so to speak. for $30. You can get to see it because it's not going to become free on the platform till like a little later or whatever. So 29%, nearly 29%. Now you got to remember, Disney Plus has close to 30 million users. So 29%, that's pretty good, so just think about that. 29% of the users times $30. Now this is something that Kev called a little while, one of the other shows a few weeks ago. This, and like we was been saying, and I think we've all kind of came to this consensus, the movie theaters days are numbered, period. Movie theater days are numbered. I don't see it lasting. I just don't see it lasting. It is, when you got Disney, who's like the consensus of all the other studios, right? They're the big dogs for the most part. They're kind of trying to officially show, even though other studios were doing it before them, they're kind of officially trying to show people the way, the studios the way. Yeah, this might be the way you want to go. Because they said even with on the low end, the estimate of, like, say, on the low end, as far as a number of subscribers, they said something like it ended up being like 9 million subscribers, like 9 million out of the 30 million subscribers, right? So there's roughly 9 million subscribers. And I think I might have did the numbers earlier in the day, but if you take 9 million subscribers, times that by $30, it's somewhere around 270 something like $1 million that they made. And that's just 9 million of their subscribers, 29%. That's with Mulan. What do you think Black Widow is going to do? If they decide to do Black Widow, don't you think a little more than 9 million subscribers are going to want to see Black Widow? I do. So you're talking 270 million for Mulan. They didn't spend that much on Mulan. I doubt it. And that's all uncut money that you don't have to split with the theaters. So, yeah. I don't think, I think theaters days are numbered, honestly. So we shall see, but we will definitely get into that a little bit. I want to get my Jedi Council opinion on that. Also, the numbers. Well, we'll briefly go over box office mojo numbers because we don't do it like we used to. Obviously, Tenet has finally kind of dropped off. Latest weekend, September 18th through the 20th, Tenet made 4.7 million in the theaters. We're not expecting it to make a lot at this point. Domestically, it's only grossed 36 million. They made all of their money internationally because, like I said, and I said it the first week, the United States seems to be the only country that's not getting their ish together when it comes to COVID. So the other countries are kind of getting it together, so they're able to go back to theaters and stuff. So they made $200 million with international. So, and they have the widest release. They've released it in damn near 3,000 theaters, I guess, across I don't know if this is supposedly across the globe or is across, it says the widest release is that. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's just perfect example right there. The theater days are numbered, and not in a good way. So Tenet, and then the other films like New Mutants made 1.8 million over the weekend. New Mutants made 17 million. Period. Worldwide they made 35 million. That was just like I said, what are they waiting on? Why this is when you look at what Disney did, Disney's like, hold my beer, okay, all you other guys. While y'all sitting there scrimping and scraping at the theater box office and letting your film become a box office flop, Disney's like, hold my mouse ears, you know what I'm saying? While we go ahead and make this 270 million bucks straight to our pockets with no, do not pass go, do not collect $200 straight up. They don't have to split nothing with the theater. So they're showing you the way, people. They're showing us the way. Not that, like I said, other people, Universal did it first. Universal kind of threw it out there first, but the funny thing is they won't get the credit for it. It'll be Disney that gets the credit once everybody starts doing what they're doing. But now that Disney has gotten into it, yeah, things are changing now. People are like, oh, wait a minute. Now, when they decide to throw Black Widow out there, Black Widow is going to get at least double the amount of users to pay the $30. I'm going to say at least between 15 and 20 million subscribers are going to watch that, because it's basically the last of the MCU, not the last MCU movies, but it's technically the last of the Infinity Saga movies. You know what I'm saying? You get to see Black Widow, who died in the Infinity Saga. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, shame on you. Too bad. Black Widow died in Endgame. So, because of that, a lot of people that rub people the wrong way, they didn't want to lose her. They didn't bring her back. So now it's like, so many people, at least 20 million people are going to pay for that to watch it. Probably more. So double that 270 million. Now you're looking at, $500 million that you making straight uncut. Yeah. It's simple math, simple arithmetic, people, as Kevin explained it before. He's been saying this from day one. He's been putting it out there saying, just do the math. I know for a fact. I myself did not pay for Mulan. I didn't pay for it. So you damn sure, you are damn skippy that I will be paying for Black Widow if they make it available. And I'm sure. And now it's just a matter of when they make it available. It's not going to be a question. They're going to make it available. It'd be stupid not to. We're now in September, people. COVID is not going anywhere. The theaters it's like a freaking, what's it called? A dead zone. You know what I'm saying? It's like a ghost town. It's a ghost town in the theaters. So bottom line, man, they making that bread. And the other studios are going to be like, yep, I'm with it. I'll tell you who's next, who's going to be next to do it. Even though he's got a lot of deals with different networks and stuff, but now that he's officially hit the billion dollar club, Tyler Perry is going to be the next to start his own streaming service. God, I'm calling it now. You heard it here first. Tyler Perry is going to start his own streaming network because he has everything on his own compound. So because of that, Why keep doing these deals through these networks? The networks aren't really, what's the big deal? Like, he can go, if he doesn't go do his own streaming, he's gonna go to streaming at some point. He's gonna stop dealing with these networks. He'll probably be the next one to do it. The next movie he does is gonna go to some sort of straight thing, and they're gonna go to the movie theaters because he knows that he can get straight money that way. You watch. Everyone's gonna start doing it. And why wouldn't you? Because honestly, think about it. Bringing that stuff bringing it to the homes. Yeah, it sucks. It's not in the movies no more. You want the movie experience. But you could still crowd a bunch of, once COVID is gone, or in the countries that got their ish together and COVID is almost gone, you can still pile people up in the crib, pile people up in your living room, and make it a movie night. There you go. That's still not going to take away from their money, because people are you're going to have at least 20 million homes that's going to want to do that. So there you go. And so there you have it. Kev said that Tyler's already working on his streaming service, which doesn't surprise me. You're listening and watching Real Talk with the director. I am the director, the Jedi Council, and I brought them with me. Don't believe me? Here they go. Ralph, Kev, y'all's in the building.
What's going on?
Oh man.
What's going on, brothers? Well, Tyler, that doesn't surprise me. Of course he's working on his own streaming service. It would be the smart thing to do. And he's smart. He's obviously smart. He knows about getting that bag and getting it straight to the pocket. So he's changed that dynamic, but he was showing cats how to make movies. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what I'm saying. He was showing them how to say, yo, this is how you do it when you make movies. This is how you self-sustain and make your own shit on your own, your own property and this, that, and the other, and keep that money instead of having to, shell out $1 billion putting something together, and got to go crazy to make it work in the theater.
Yeah, he mentioned he alluded to something about that with his interview. If you go back and check out that interview he did with T.I. on Expeditiously, he briefly mentioned that that he was working on his own. He's working on his own streaming service, which on the flip side of that too, there just a heads up for people. I know we're not getting any we're not getting any money for saying this, but there is already a black-owned Netflix type services called Queely.
Yeah.
I have to renew my membership with them because I stopped watching it for a while. But they have some it's a lot of independent stuff that's on there. I'm just waiting for the time that somebody's going to come along and show them the money and put some major stuff on there so that thing could kick off like it's supposed to, because it's strictly all black content and people of color content, and it's a pretty nice service.
Yeah. No, I heard of them. I think I have their app as well. But yeah, what do y'all think about these numbers, man? Ralph? We all kind of agreed that we knew that the movie theaters days are numbered. Kev called it right on the button as far as Disney putting this thing out and doing well with the numbers. And this is not even considered like people, as we all know, people were at first, before these numbers just came out, people were kind of considered Mulan a failure on Disney with Disney Plus. Right?
I'm gonna say this because I hate being the Mr. Donald Downer, so to speak. But on one hand, the numbers that you're saying about Mulan on Disney are very impressive. $270 million. That's really, really impressive. And not for nothing, it probably made more than what it probably would have made in the theaters. That's debatable. probably would have.
Especially right now.
No. I'm talking whether we had the pandemic or not. It probably would have made more than what it would have made in theaters.
Possibly, yeah.
But on the flip side, while you said it brought in 9 million viewers, and you said at how much a pop? $30 a pop, right? It brought in $270 million. That's only one person. Where's my finger? One person, right? People that have multiple people going to the theaters, like Kev would be Kev and his girl and his kids. So you may have 4 or 5 and their friends. You're buying tickets for maybe more than one person.
Yeah.
So while that number sounds great, $270 million, it still is not going to be what you potentially could have made from the box office.
But the thing is, it kind of evens out, Ralph, because they got to split their box office money with the theaters too. Remember that. They get a cut of it. Theaters get a cut. So this is all uncut money. So it kind of evens out.
That is very true. It does. It is uncut money, but it's still less than what the movie would have made in theaters around the world. The global number than compared to what it would have made in streaming. Don't get me wrong. 270 is nothing to sneeze at. I would take $270 million in a heartbeat. I really would. Right. But you got to look at the bigger economics more than just the United States when it comes to stuff of this nature. And like people thought that, like you said, Universal will not get any credit for Trolls, and they should, because Trolls show that it's possible you could do it. Certainly, Mulan puts a bigger magnifying glass under that. Yeah, you can do it. However, as you said with Black Widow, would Disney really either hold on to Black Widow until COVID gets under control, or do they put it onto their streaming service? That's the question mark. Because
I think this proves that this was their test.
No,
I think this proves that why would they hold on to it? There is no indication that COVID is going anywhere anytime soon in America, and that's where they would make the bulk of their money.
Agree, but right now, like even right now, like myself, I don't have Disney Plus. I don't subscribe to any type of streaming service, although I have been considering it. Right, I really have been considering it. I got a 72-inch television sitting here. I might as well put it on there.
Yeah, and also they actually did. I see what the numbers there. Their subscriber base went up with in between that time as well. So that's more money that they gained. That's not just the money that people paid for the $30 plus tack on the 12 whatever bucks a month. The subscribers.
But that does not count toward Mulan. That counts to Disney Plus.
It doesn't matter. No, yeah, but what I'm saying is Disney, but it still all goes to Disney. That's my point.
I totally agree with that. However,
but see, here's the problem. There is no however with that, because here's the whole point. The whole point of them putting Mulan out on the streaming service was so they could circumvent the theaters, specifically not just during COVID. You got to remember, this is something that's been in the works before even COVID was even a thing. Like, this is something that Disney
just gave them the push.
Yeah, it just gave them the push to jump over the edge. Yeah, to jump over the broom and just be like, we just gonna do it. This has always been the game plan to start to basically box out the movie theaters and start making their money to where they can start having that direct to consumer. Now they do have to work on the price point, but again, not really, because there are a lot of mitigating factors that kind of kicked in to help kind of cut the money back on Mulan. Because Mulan would have made more money if it wasn't for the stuff that was going on in Hong Kong. And the actress really, her comments, like if she would have kept her mouth shut and not said anything about her feelings towards, the Hong Kong police, if she would have kept her mouth shut, I think that would have helped, quill things down a little bit. Also, with like Disney tried as best as they could to be as authentic as possible with the representation with the movie. So in China, that's the other reason. Well, that's the other quote unquote air quote reasons why they're saying that Mulan wasn't really making good sales in China, because they're saying that the Chinese are arguing that it wasn't as authentic. But there's a lot of political stuff going on behind the scenes with Mulan as well. So I don't believe that for a minute, because there were a lot of people from China that were actually looking forward to Mulan, but because of all the political nonsense that's going on, that's one of the things that's hurting them, as far as the streaming and as far as the box office is concerned. Because even if there wasn't a streaming, even if there wasn't a streaming, and it was just in the theaters, the numbers still would have been a little bit lower because of all this political stuff. If you took away this political stuff, and the fact that if you added more people being a little bit more excited about it, a lot of people weren't excited about Mulan even before the pandemic. There was only a handful of us really that was like, I've been looking forward to this movie since last summer. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
For this. I should say the summer before last, because summer's almost over. So
I was looking. I wanted to see it. I was looking forward to see it.
Well, I mean, I
just
agree with him there. I wasn't too. Honestly, I saw the trailer and was like, oh, okay. I wasn't going like crazy over it. You know what I mean?
Right. I was just curious. I was like, oh my God, I got to be there opening night, because it's not that kind of movie opening night. But what I'm just saying in response to that one, I mean, theoretically, studios have had this thing for years. There's plenty of movies that studios have put out on on demand, on straight to DVD, straight to video. They've been doing this for years. This is just another. This is just another platform.
This is another platform, but they've been doing this for years, but not theater movies as theater movies that's going straight to and also I wanted to tack on, so that number that I said, the approximate 270 million, don't forget, let's tack on 57 million that they made internationally in the theaters. Now that's not gonna, right? Yeah, that's in the movie theaters. Now some of that, whatever, that's supposedly that they're gross or whatever. So I guess some of that they split some of it to the theaters, but bottom line is 57 million is what they pulled in from the box office. So throw that on top of it too. They made out like bandits. They made out like bandits.
I still say the same thing. That is awesome. That is an awesome thing. Those are awesome numbers. I'm not discounting that at all. All that stuff is great. What I'm saying is simply this: is that, and maybe it's because Mulan. Now, if you, and I'm gonna say it the way I'm thinking it. Until you legitimately put on a movie who you legitimately know is going to be a box office smash, legitimately know off the bat.
Yeah, then Black Widow.
Right now, you still don't have a litmus test. You don't, because Mulan.
Technically, you do. Technically you kind of sort of do to a degree, even though this is not a highly anticipated movie. It still was an anticipated movie that was supposed to, quote unquote, it wasn't supposed to be a Tenet. It wasn't supposed to be like Tenet. Tenet was supposed to save the movie theater experience, supposedly. That's what everybody was saying. Like, oh, Tenet's gonna be the thing to save everything. Mulan wasn't that, but what Mulan was the potential to show, like, hey, you know what? There's still a way to make money here. There's still a way to where we can at least cover our budget money, the money that we spent on making the movie. At least if we can recover that initially, the rest of it is, so you kind of sort of got your litmus test, Ralph, to a degree.
No, you don't.
Actually, you do, Ralph, because it cost them. You got to remember, Ralph, they didn't spend a lot of money on marketing. They didn't spend a lot of money on marketing because of COVID. The only marketing that they spent was the money they spent last year. So now you also have, they only spent, I think the budget was close to about evenly at 200,000 was their budget with to make the movie. And you probably figure about another 15 million with whatever marketing they did over the last year. So they've pretty much covered that.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I know where you're going with it. What I'm saying is when I say the litmus test, Mulan to a large degree could have been a real serious hit or miss if it went to the theaters. And you might not want to see it, you might not want to see it. You got to put on there a movie that like if you would have did this, if you did this with Avengers Endgame, right? That would be that's a movie that you put in the box office. It's making guaranteed. It's making $1 billion.
But
You got
how
to put
can you?
something on that
Right.
kind of magnitude. You
But
got.
I don't buy that, Ralph, because the bottom line is if this movie did as well as it did, what do you think the big box office smash movie is gonna do?
But
If
see
this movie
that's
did that, it's
the
fair.
question.
Wait, but Ralph, let me finish. It's fair to already say that you can. I mean, if you are the executives at Disney, you look at these numbers. It is definitely fair for you to say, "Oh, we can put Black Widow in and make $1 billion," because now they can still market through the internet. They can still market through the Disney Plus and stuff like that. They can go hard and do a quick little marketing campaign for it just to get people pumped up about it again. I'm not release it on Disney Plus. So how can you say it's not the litmus test?
I am not disagreeing with what you just said, Wes. But look at what you just said. If Disney would have put Black Widow out first, that is the movie that movie would have made more money in theaters than Mulan. Guaranteed. If they
But it was smart to not do it first, because then Mulan may not have made no money.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about.
The other thing is, the other thing too is they can't release Black Widow yet. The other reason why the main reason why Black Widow is being moved up, it has nothing to do with the box office. It has more to do with the storyline. Because they can't. Ralph, Disney said it out of Disney's own mouth. They cannot present this movie without doing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier first because of the plot of the story for Phase 4. They can't do it out of context.
Kev. I get what you're saying about continuity.
Listen. Black Widow, something like this, Ralph. If that was the case, Black Widow is already in the can. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is not in the can yet. They still had to do reshoots. They're still finishing up filming. They're still tightening that up for that to be released later on in the fall.
But Kev, wait, Kev, stop. This is the point. Even what you said with continuity, like you just said, Black Widow was already set to be premiere May 1st of this year, not next year, this year. So it still would have came out before Falcon was going to come onto Disney Plus. It would have still came out before then. So the continuity factor doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. No, because Black Widow was already scheduled.
Actually, no, because I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out before.
It's been out already. Yeah, it was supposed to have been out already.
It wasn't. If I could be mistaken, I'm gonna look it up while we're talking.
WandaVision wasn't supposed to come out until later. WandaVision was supposed to.
Falcon was not scheduled to come out before Black Widow. It wasn't. I believe that's correct. Now I could be wrong, but let's just sit there and say, for the sake of this piece right here, that I am wrong. Let's sit there and say, okay, Ralph, Falcon was ready to come out, was ready to go before Black Widow. Okay, Black Widow was supposed to come out in May. The pandemic hit in March. If you're going to tell me that Falcon was supposed to come out somewhere between March 1st and May 1st, then that's a different story. But you can't say that. You can't say that. So Disney was going to release Black Widow before.
This is not me saying this. This is Disney saying that, not me.
Maybe they changed it too. Maybe they decided to do something like that. We don't know what they did.
Because remember when Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to come out, the theme of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to be a pandemic. It was supposed to be about a pandemic. They changed the whole story because of the real life pandemic. They changed the whole story.
Mm-hmm. Which explains the reshoots they had to do.
But wait. I understand, Kev. I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about what's going on now. What I'm saying, take the pandemic out the equation for a second, right? And Black Widow was going to come out before Falcon,
right? Because it was a different storyline. But if they changed the storyline, and now they're saying their new plans are let's put Falcon and Winter Soldier out
But-
first because we
but
changed
you-
the storyline
But
to
you are
line up
going,
with.
but you are going too far. Forget about the pandemic. Forget about they changed the storyline. The
We
only
can't
problem
forget
that-
about that because
No,
that's
no,
what
you
happened.
can't. No, you can because they changed the storyline because now you got time. So they wanted to change the storyline because of the real pandemic. That's a different scenario. If there was no COVID, if we went through the year exactly what
Okay,
it was,
if there
Black
was
Widow
no
would have came out
COVID,
before.
then yeah, Black Widow came out before, but that's not the case now.
But that
So
is
that is
exactly.
what I'm saying.
But that's my point.
But how did we all start? How did this whole thing get started? Ralph, you're talking about if they would have released Black Widow before Mulan. Okay,
That is-
fine. But that's that's not what happened. And
But that is
they
not- that is
decided
not-
not to release
But that
it
is not what I
before
said.
Mulan.
What I said was simply this. While the numbers for Mulan are very, very impressive, in order for you to get a real legitimate test, as if this new format of taking your blockbuster movies and putting them onto your streaming services is better than you put in theater, you need to have your best litmus test, a movie that you knew would guaranteed be a box office smash. Mulan was a hit or miss movie. If you said
it wasn't a hit or miss movie, but even let's just say for argument's sake, it was a hit or miss movie. Here's the bottom line: if this hit as a hit or miss movie, this hit. So common sense would dictate that okay, if 8.9 and actually the number was 29%, it was 8.9
roughly a little bit, right? A little bit under 9 million views. That's why I just rounded up to
9 million people. So a little over 9 million people saw it.
29%. So if 29% of Disney subscribers, and we got to say Disney subscribers and possibly new members joined up for Disney Plus just to watch Mulan, how much more is it going to be with current subscribers? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the current subscriber base, I'll be as bold to say this: 90% of Disney's current subscriber base are probably Marvel Star Wars fans.
I would agree with that.
Mandalorian's about to come back out. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree. But you guys are making very great points, and you're everything that both of you have said, you are absolutely right about. I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is that you, in order to get the most accurate test, right, you're going to have to put a movie on there that you knew. Yes, you do, because if I'm not mistaken, and both of you already on Disney Plus, you can tell me, is there not on Disney Plus a live action version of Lady and the Tramp?
Yes.
Right. That movie never went to the theaters. It went straight to Plus, right? So they put a movie that they wasn't too sure if it was going to hit at the box office, and they put it onto the Plus.
They're gonna do that. Yeah, they're gonna do that.
Was
That's just like the series, you know. Like, of course, you got to put some original content on there.
But we're not. I'm not talking about a series. I'm talking about a film. Mulan, for a large degree, is a movie that could have been a hit or a miss.
I'm not even arguing that.
You need to put on a movie that you know is going to be an automatic hit.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because that is a Ralph. That's not a litmus test by saying, oh, we're gonna take a movie that's an automatic hit.
The litmus test is coming out in the green with a film like this.
But you could say the same. But you could sit there and say the same thing with that Lady and the Tramp movie. I don't know how much money that Lady and the Tramp movie, but you could sit there and say, well, that's the same exact scenario, right?
No, it's not, because Lady and the Tramp movie. No, it's not, because you got that movie just by being a subscriber. You didn't have to pay anything extra for it. That movie, you just by being a subscriber, everything that came with Disney Plus, you got, and that was one of the movies that came with Disney Plus.
I understand it. But what I'm saying, I understand what I'm saying is this: if Disney really wanted to try it, they could have made that a premium like they did with Mulan. They really wanted to try it.
But why would they do that?
Why would you, Ralph? Well, you know what? I got this one, Ralph. Why would you take a movie that you've done zero advertising for? You've done no marketing for this film. Why would you take that and put that as a premium movie? That's automatically like saying we just want to lose money.
If they were, here's your answer to that question. If they were going to make it a premium movie, where they were going to say, "Well, this is our premium movie, and you have to pay," don't you think they would have put some money into advertising all that other stuff beyond? Of course, they would have, because it's their premium thing, right?
But no, but that's the whole point, Ralph. They that Lady and the Tramp was a subscriber release. That's if you're already subscribed.
Wait.
That's original content.
Time.
Mulan was already a theatrical release. It was already slated.
Time.
What?
All right. I get what you guys are saying, right? I'm saying Lady and the Tramp because that's the only movie that I know of that was on.
Okay, that was like
whether it was you got it with your subscription or was it beyond Mulan, whether it was you got it with your prescription or it was a premium channel. That's the only movie I know of. Time, Kev, stop. Time.
If it's just a subscription, you can't. There's no other way to make money off of it because you're not making money off of it.
Time. I get what you're saying. What I'm sitting here telling you is this. Lady and the Tramp is the only other movie that I know of that was on Disney Plus. What I'm simply saying is this. If you really want to make a push to stop putting movies in a theater, if that's Disney, stop putting movies in theaters and strictly putting it onto your streaming service, you need to put a movie that you knew was going to be a box office smash off the back to gauge the numbers. So if you sit there and you say, hey, you know what? Avengers Endgame or the next Avengers movie, right, is scheduled for January 2023. Scheduled to hit theaters. Say, you know, we're not going to put it in theaters. We're going to put it onto our Disney Plus service. If that movie comes anywhere near what your expectations would have been for in the movie theaters, then you know that you're on the right path.
No, not
now. But now listen, if you do that same thing, if you thinking of the next Avengers movie is going to make $2 billion, right? But you put it on Disney Plus and it makes $270 billion, $270 million. When you knew it could have made $2 billion, then you know that no, it's not. Is maybe right now is not the best thing that for you to abandon.
We're only talking about 2 weeks.
You're saying the way you're saying it, Ralph, is like set yourself up for failure instead of set yourself up for success. Because if you're going,
no, I'm not.
What you're doing is if you're going to throw a test out there, you want to test something that will not be considered a big loss if it is a loss. That's what you want to do if you're going to test something. You don't throw your biggest thing out there that not knowing what having any gauge on what the numbers are going to be. In chancing on taking a loss, you don't do that. You take something that if let's just say this flopped even on the streaming and they didn't make a lot of money from it, then it's like now you use that as your test. Now you can say, yeah, you know what? Even though we know that the next Avengers movie would make a lot more money, but maybe people are just not ready yet to give up the theaters. But that's you go with you're gonna take a chance. You don't take a chance with your biggest gun. You take a chance with the person with the one thing that's okay if you end up losing money. You see what I'm saying? That's how you take a chance. Because if it wouldn't have worked that way, they could say, well, that's enough for them to gauge. These people running numbers is running numbers. It's logical. It's just logic. Plain logic is going to tell you that more than 9 million people are going to buy an Infinity War, movie, a big blockbuster movie, because we all agree that Mulan, like you said, it could have been a hit or miss in the theaters. We all agree that a lot of people were not really excited for Mulan in the first place, and we also all agree that they didn't even do a lot of promotion with Mulan, obviously because of the pandemic. But besides the point, period. That is how you do your test. You don't do you're setting no person in their right mind with money gonna play with their money like that. You don't take your biggest thing that you spent $1 billion making and say, let's throw it on streaming service and see what happens. That's not how you do it. You've got to spend a decent amount of money making and then you come out in the green, and you're like, oh, so now people went to Mulan, which we didn't promote, which not a lot of people was excited about at first, and because it caught controversy, blah 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 blah, and was considered to be almost a failure. But now these numbers come back, and financially, it's not a failure. So the bottom line is, it is basic, not just basic common sense and basic arithmetic, that the people who are invested in the Infinity Saga or the Avengers, the Marvel people, is well more than 9 million of these subscribers. Probably more than half, more than maybe 3/4 of these subscribers, like Kev said, are either Star Wars fans or Marvel fans, subscribers to this service. And you cannot tell me that the Marvel fans, if they had to pay the extra, if they put out Black Widow, especially now, it's safe to say, if we put out Black Widow, we're going to make the money. But at this point, doing Black Widow first wouldn't have been the smart move business wise, because it just.
All right, I tell you what I'll do. Right, I'm gonna hold off on further comment on this one until Disney picks out the next movie to put onto their streaming service. They take a movie out because frankly, I see the next one coming. Because we're not talking Marvel, we're talking Disney. That's a different thing than Marvel. Disney is everything in the Disney banner. So that means, realistically speaking, the next movie under the Disney banner, which now includes Fox, is Death on the Nile. Now, if Disney says, you know what, we're going to put Death on the Nile on our streaming.
They're not. I can tell you now that's not. I can tell you, not to cut you off, but I'm going to tell you now.
They're not going to do that one. They're not going to do that one. You're absolutely right. They're not going to do that. So then what's the next movie under Disney to come that they should have released? Is it not Black Widow? So they're not going to do that one.
Right?
Well, they'll do. It might be Black Widow now.
Death. They're not going to. They're probably not going to do Death on the Nile.
No, not for the extra money. That's just going to be, if they put it on the platform, it's just going to be part of the platform.
And you
they're not going to charge extra money for that.
Well, first of all, even if they do that, even if they do charge a premium on demand for that, you got to remember, Disney's plan is not to eliminate theaters. Disney's plan is to make more money. It's to circumvent the theaters. So what they want to do is still release it video on demand. They're still going to release it premium on demand, but at the same time, it's going to be released in theaters. And because of the pandemic, it's going to get released at home as well as in theaters, because 90% of their viewership can't go to the movies, which is here in the United States.
All right, then that's fine. Okay, so Disney doesn't release Death on the Nile on demand.
And what's the rating for Death on the Nile? Because here's the thing: if Death on the Nile is PG-13 or higher,
right this minute, I don't know. Right,
it probably won't get released on the. Okay, that's why you can't. That's why you don't find some of the Fox stuff on Disney Plus. A lot of the Fox stuff is either going to end up going over to Hulu or elsewhere, because it's not Disney friendly. That's the other thing.
Okay. All right. That now that is a better point. So now, if you're Disney, okay, now that you've released Mulan, you know you got Black Widow coming. You know you got Black Widow coming in theaters. But you're saying, well, we don't know when this pandemic is going to end, when people are going to feel comfortable going back to the movie theaters. Then what's the next movie for you to put onto your demand service? The only thing you got left to go is Black Widow. That's all you got. So one way or the other, it still has the potential to come into the streaming service. You don't have a choice. It's either you put it onto the streaming service, or you hold it off for a theatrical release. It's one or the other. But Black Widow, whether you have released it first,
it's not going to be one. It's going to be both. It's going to be both. It's not going to be one.
They're not going to do both.
What are you talking about?
They would be crazy to do both.
Mulan was
they just did it with Mulan. They're gonna do both. Because, like we said, they still have the international theaters that they can release it in.
Mulan has not been released in the United States anywhere.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna do the United States, but they're not. Even if they don't do the United States, Ralph, they're still gonna do theaters internationally.
But we are not talking right now. I am not talking about international. I'm talking about the United States, because that's where I'm at right now. The U.S.
They don't need to do United States.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's being released. Mulan was released on Disney Plus. It was accessible to anybody who had a Disney Plus account or who wanted to get a Disney Plus account in any country on the planet that had access to Disney Plus. You could
That's
order
the United States release.
That's the United States. That's what I'm saying. It's the United States.
That's just not the
But I
United
don't
States.
get your point here. I don't get your
So
point, Ralph.
because it was available on Disney Plus in the United States, they did not release it in theaters in the United States. They released it international.
Yes, they did. What are you talking about?
But when it
What's
comes
your
to Black
point, though?
Widow, when it comes,
Ralph,
if you would let me talk, I would finish the point.
Ralph, there are domestic numbers for Mulan. Mulan was released in theaters the same day that it was released video on demand. What are you talking about?
All right. Whether it was or not, I'm trying to get to your point because I don't really get what you're saying.
My point simply is this, right? Is whether you had released Black Widow first or you release it second. Black Widow is going to be your litmus test. It is not Mulan. It's going to be Black Widow, one way or the other, because you have nothing else in your coffers.
Right? Your litmus test for what, though? This is what I'm trying to say. What is your litmus test for what?
To see if it is generally feasible for you to release to buy during the pandemic instead of holding on to the film until the pandemic fixes or ends or whatever, to either release it to your streaming services and bypass the theaters for right now. That's going to be your litmus test. It is not. It's going to be.
What are you talking about? The whole point, the whole purpose of what Disney does is to be able to release in theaters and.
Right. So the point you're making, the point Kev is making is their strategy was never to bypass the theaters either or. Their strategy was to make more money using the theaters and the home service. That's the point. Your point obviously is you're saying that you don't feel that the success of Mulan is a big enough litmus test to prove that release it. Well, it has to be a litmus test of something because it has to be. They had to use something to even make the decision to put Black Widow, which they haven't made yet. But I'm just saying they have to do something to make a decision to put the bigger film in the theater. I mean, in the home streaming service.
The only reason that it went to the streaming service first was because of the pandemic. That's the biggest reason why.
We know that.
And Kev,
it doesn't matter what the reason. But now
to answer the second part to that question, no, I'm looking at this right now. Mulan 2020's Mulan has not been released anywhere in the United States. The $57 million is strictly from international sales.
That's from international sales. Yeah.
So no. So no, if they did this, they do the same format with Black Widow did Mulan. They are not going to release it in the United States in theaters. They'll put it on demand.
They're not going to need to though. They're not going to need to release it in theaters in the United States.
But see that
they're going to put it on Disney Plus, and people are going to buy it.
But that is the question. If we strictly put it on Disney Plus, would everybody that would have went to the theaters to see it get the Disney Plus to see it? Like I said, I would go to the theaters to see Black Widow. I don't have Disney Plus, and I'm on the fence.
So then I will go ahead and pose that question to you. Then, if you know that they're not gonna, if they're not gonna release it in the United States, which is where you live, like you said, right? If they're not gonna release it in the United States, but yet they're gonna put it on Disney Plus, you're not going to get Disney Plus to see it?
Why wouldn't I just wait till they put it on Blu-ray? Why wouldn't I just do that?
What if they do? What if they? So you're gonna wait, however long they decide. Who knows if they're gonna put it on Blu-ray? If it's on Disney Plus, what's the point?
Because
their goal is to get you to. The goal is to get you to subscribe to Disney Plus. That's the goal. Why have a streaming service when you're just going to go ahead and release the stuff on Blu-ray? Yeah, maybe you might do it 6 months after you.
I'm looking at this website that deal with DVDs and Blu-rays. According to this, Mulan, the 2020 version, is scheduled to be released on Blu-ray November 10th, 2020.
Okay.
Right, which is 2 months. 2 months.
2 months. So then you're a person who's willing to wait 2 months. But you're obviously not a diehard Marvel fan because you're willing to wait 2 months to see Black Widow if they're not going to release it in the theaters when you know you would have went to the theater probably the same night to see it that it came out, right? You're willing to wait 2 months because you don't want to pay less money than you would have paid at the theater to subscribe to Disney Plus or whatever. Or if you're gonna say you got to pay the extra $30, okay, fine, you pay the $30, right?
But this is the thing that you.
But you get to watch it after $30 as many times as you want. So if you wanted to go.
This is the thing that
if you wanted to go watch it that many times in the theater, you pay way more money than that.
But this is the thing that you and Kevin forgot about, right? Or haven't really taken into consideration. People are still working on budgets, right? So disposable income, right? Then they may not want to. They may say maybe I could wait, maybe because, like I said, like myself, I'm on the fence. And if I'm on the fence, there's probably a whole bunch of other people out there that are on the fence too. Do I spend the $12.99? Do I? But Wes, Disney Plus, although it's geared or specialized for Marvel and Star Wars fans, everybody is not a Star Wars or a Marvel fan, but they like
not
Disney
everybody.
movies. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You may have a bunch of people out there that are legitimately on the fence. And
do you think at least 9 million are at least Marvel fans?
Let me finish this. Let me finish this thought. And also, even if I sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna spend the $12.99 to look at Black Widow, because whether it's a premium or not, I'm gonna spend the buck.
It'd be more than
$12.99. What other movies are you going to give me after this? What other movie are you going to give me after?
Well, you get the Disney Plus service. You're paying the $12.99 for Disney Plus. Remember, you got to pay the extra money for Black Widow.
But is that not what I just said? What I just said was, even if I go ahead and get the Disney Plus, and whether it be part of the subscription or a premium movie,
yeah.
So now you put Black Widow, the movie Black Widow, on. What movie are you going to give me afterwards?
Well, if they put Black Widow on, it all depends on where they go after it. Like you just said. So if Black Widow's the quote unquote litmus test that you say, and it does well, then they'll probably put every movie going forward.
So now let me ask you, Wes, as on the director side. Beyond Black Widow, what other movie does Disney have in the Marvel universe, or does Disney have in the Star Wars universe that's even 1/4 ready to be released right now?
Eternals.
The difference doesn't make if it's ready to be released right
now. Is Eternals a Disney movie or is it a Sony product?
It's Marvel. Disney. Yeah, it's Marvel. Marvel Disney. Eternals.
So okay. So then you have Eternals. Okay.
Yeah. That's another going to be a really big movie. But here's a question for you, Ralph. So regardless of you're going to have people that's on the fence. You're going to have people. Not everybody's Marvel fans. That's fine. But you don't think it's fair to say that at least 9 million, if not double that, are Marvel fans who subscribe
I have never doubted that. I would actually, I'm gonna take that back. I do doubt it. I actually think that the percentage of people on Disney Plus that are either a Marvel fan or a Star Wars fan is actually higher than half. I'm not doubting it. I am not doubting those things at all. However, you still gotta, even with all we talked about for this last 59 minutes, there's still a whole bunch of these up there, question mark, that you don't know. You don't know.
Here's the deal. Take away the pandemic, like you said, right? Take away the pandemic. Take away the pandemic, right? No, listen. Take away the pandemic, right?
Then we're gonna
use right. No, but still, I'm just saying. Even if my point is this, all I'm trying to say to you is this: pandemic or not, the comparison between home streaming or straight to home delivery, whatever you want to call it, straight to home versus theater. Yes, people love the theater experience and always go there, but if you're gonna look at it from an economic standpoint, you pay $30 for this and you can watch it multiple times, unlimited times. You pay $15 to watch it once, right?
I could pay I could pay the same $30 and get the DVD and watch it on limited times. It's the
But
exact same.
not when you want to watch it though. Not when it comes out. Not
Agreed.
when it comes
Agreed.
out, Ralph.
Agreed.
And you know that makes
I
a
agree.
difference, dude.
I
You know
Wes,
that people, nobody. You are a
Wes,
movie
I
goer.
Wes,
If
Wes,
it's a movie you really want to see, you're not gonna wait for it to come on Blu-ray.
Wes, I agree. I agree with what you just said. You are absolutely right. If I'm a movie goer and this movie I want to see, I'm gonna go see it when I want to see it the day of. So no, I would not wait for Mulan, for example. If I really, really wanted to go see it and we didn't have pandemic, I would have been there the first weekend, and
Of
then when
course
it
you
came
would.
on DVD later on, I would have got. However, that's the position that we are in right now. We are
You
in a
just spent
pandemic,
money twice,
right?
which you
So,
eliminated with this new thing we're talking about. You
but,
eliminated spending money
no,
twice
no,
because
because
you spent money once and now you
I'm
got
still
it
spending money.
forever on Disney.
But I would still be spending money. But I gotta spend the money to get the service. Then I gotta spend another amount of money to get the movie itself. So I'm still
Yeah,
spending
but
money.
with that money you're spending for the service, that's not the only thing you get is that movie. You got a whole lot of other things. You can make use of that service by some instead of all of the unlimited whatever
West,
titles that you have access to from
West.
doing that
I'm
service.
gonna tell you this right now. You sound like the big marketing push for to Disney Plus. You sound like the big promoter, and
It
I
is.
grant you
It's the truth.
everything that you just said. I'm gonna say it again is 100% correct. You're absolutely right. However, we are dealing in a time where everybody is not so easily past giving out money for certain things. And if I said if
Well,
I
the numbers don't agree with you, Ralph,
no,
because their numbers just went up. So those numbers don't agree
but
with
West,
you.
but West,
Their subscribers went up
but West,
just for Mulan.
but West, I am somebody who has not missed a day of work since the pandemic, right? I am on the fence about spending the money to get Disney Plus. And if I'm saying if I cannot be the only one in the United States of
Of
America
course
that
not.
is
But
also
what I'm
on the
saying is, no, you're not the only one, but you're obviously probably in the minority of
you
people
can
that don't
see
want to
with that
spend the money because
with,
look at the numbers. They don't lie, Ralph.
but with that Wes, you can't legit you can say look at the numbers, but that numbers do not tell you if there are other people out there that are on the
Well,
fence.
actually,
No, that's
Ralph,
not what I'm
It's,
saying.
Ralph, if you go back, Ralph,
you know,
actually, the way you,
all that
Ralph,
you know
actually,
is
the
that
way
the
you can tell
subscription
that.
services rose because Mulan came on. You have subscription services went up, whether it was a lot or a bit because and that it made this amount of money. Those are the things that you specifically know. You don't know if there's anybody else that said, "Damn
Of
man, I
course,
can go."
of
And that,
course there's people that
and
I know. You just said who? You just said you. I just added you to the list. I specifically know more than a dozen people probably that were on the fence with Disney Plus that don't want to get it, whatever the case, for whatever their reasons are, whether they have the money or not, whether they don't feel like they're not going to use it, they're not going. There's a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but what I'm trying to tell you is, you're saying about what I'm trying to tell you is, regardless of the fact, the numbers show that there are a lot of people out there that obviously will spend the money to get. These are people that were new subscribers that's
okay,
spending the extra money to join Disney Plus, even if it was just to watch Mulan. Now
okay,
they're Disney Plus. Now
all
they
right,
watch Mulan.
all right. Then let me put this a different way. Let me put it a different way. All right. Let's say you were a fan of the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks have been sucking for years, but you still go.
That's not a
That's
hypothetical.
not
That's the
right.
truth.
But so now this I think let's say Madison Square Garden seats 68,000 people, and you have 20,000 people that get season tickets.
Mhm.
Okay, that's pretty damn good.
Mhm.
Do you not think that people who were on the fence about getting Knick tickets, season fan tickets, would feel differently if the Knicks went out there and said, "We just signed LeBron James"? Would not the request for season ticket holders go up? Would not the demand for tickets go up? Why?
So what was
Because
your point? Yeah.
because if you sign, you say the Knicks signed, you signed Wesley Clark, right?
Mhm.
Nobody is like people may know who Wesley Clark is, but don't know what his skills. You say you saw LeBron James because LeBron James is the marquee name. Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna make difference. Say, you know what? I got this $200 for these tickets, but Knicks suck. Oh, y'all got LeBron James now. Oh, I'm gonna pay my $200. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you put Black Widow on there, while I may be on the fence to say I'm on the fence because Mulan, you put Black Widow, hey, wait a minute. Now maybe I would go get it. So that's why I keep saying Black Widow is going to be the ultimate test. That's your litmus test. It's
No, that's
not
not the
Mulan.
litmus test. Do you know, look up the definition of what litmus test is? That is not the litmus test. That is not
Well,
the litmus
if you Kev, even if I'm using litmus in the wrong term, you still understand what I'm saying about.
I understand what you're saying, and like I said, I'm not from the first time you said it. I'm saying okay, fine, but what I'm not agreeing with is I'm not saying that if you look at it from a business standpoint, I know if I'm one of the executives at Disney, which obviously I'm not looking at it like, okay, yes, we did this. What we just did was a great accomplishment, but it don't really mean nothing until we put Black Widow. That's crazy. That is what you said, Ralph. That's what you said. You said although it was impressive.
That is
You
not
said
what
although it was
that is not what I
impressive, the real litmus test. That means throw all that out the window. It means
no
nothing.
no it does not. It doesn't. I did sit there and say because Mulan would have been a hit or miss movie. It has a strong potential. When it hit theaters, it could have been a success or it could have been a absolute crap fest. 300 plus million dollars, including what you made domestic, is severely impressive. Severely impressive for a movie that you did not know if it was going to hit or miss. You don't know it.
Right.
What I'm saying is saying, in order to judge if this is really the wave of the future, you would have to take a movie that you know for a fact would be a blockbuster, a known blockbuster, put it onto the streaming service, and see if like if you say Disney is at 9 million subscribers, does it double because you put this movie on there? Does it come anywhere close to what we anticipated it would have grossed in the movie theater?
Okay, so how about we do this? Now, with all that being said, even if I give you that much, now it's time to put your head on the slab. Does that happen? Is the question. Do you think, just from your expert, we're the experts here, right? All three of us. From your expert, yeah. Well, hey, we're not the only ones who say it. So people listen to us, so they must think something of us. So, from your expert opinion, because that's all it is for all of us, because none of us will truly know until it happens. From your opinion, do you think that if Disney, because looking at the success, and they decide, okay, we're gonna put Black Widow, we're gonna release it to streaming. We're in September now. We're only 2 months away from when it's supposed to be released. In 2 months, COVID's still gonna be here. So it's safe to say that they're gonna have to make a decision, like you said, to say we're either gonna push it back and not put it to the service and just wait to put it in theaters, or they're gonna say because trust me, remember just when they announced doing Mulan, you had people demanding petitions, demanding that they put Black Widow on the service.
All right. Yes, they did.
So right. So they did. My point is, with that being said, I'm gonna put my head on the slab and say, yes, most definitely, they are going to make a shit ton of money by putting Black Widow even at the same price at $30 extra. Black Widow, because I thought $30 was a little high for Mulan, in my opinion.
I agree.
That's why I didn't do it. I pay for Disney Plus, but I didn't pay for the Mulan. So if Mulan would have been $19.99, hell yeah, I'd have paid for it. If Mulan, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even if it was, $19.99, definitely. Maybe $24.99. I'm not paying $30.
If it was 15,
15, yeah.
If it was the equivalent of what I could have went to a movie theater and saw,
well, if it was 15, I'd have definitely did it. I would have even paid $20. But what I'm saying is, I'm good. Before you make your point, Kev,
I'll be right back.
But before you make your point, Kev, I'm definitely and I'm putting my head on the slab, and I want to hear Ralph see what he says when he gets back. Yes, they are most definitely going to make at least double that amount of money, probably triple, because I don't care what Ralph say. And well, no, actually, he did say out his own mouth he believes more than half of the people are Marvel / Disney fans. I mean, Marvel / Star Wars fans, because the bottom line is Marvel has so much on. If you mean to tell, do you really think Disney Plus would be as successful as it is if they never didn't put any Marvel stuff on there? And the promise of all this stuff. Why do you think they're releasing all this stuff to Marvel? She-Hulk and
all the original content. All the original content. It's so that they can grow their subscription base.
Exactly.
The whole thing is a lure. That's what the whole thing is. And the bottom line is, the one thing that everybody has to remember is that people. Okay, this is to speak on budget consciousness. I have a family of right now. My household is a family of 4. It's me, my daughter, and my 2 grandkids. Right now, my granddaughter will turn 2 in about 6 to 8 months. In about 6 months, she's going to turn 2. So that means she's a regular movie ticket at that point, or at least a child movie ticket at that point. For me, a $30 price point for a movie that I can see over and over again and to come from my home, I don't have to spend gas to go to the movie theater. I don't have to spend money on popcorn. I can go pop popcorn in my kettle right out of my cabinet. I don't have to go to the store and buy waters, candy, and all the extra stuff, because we keep a lot of snacks and stuff here in the house. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of expenses that I'm not spending by renting video on demand. Yes, I am missing out on the theater experience, but I am saving money and time, not having to get in my car. And even if it was just to drive up the block, I don't have to get in my car and go do anything.
It's fair to say. Oh, go ahead, Kev. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish it up.
Right out of bed, and for $30, I can roll right out of bed, go sit in my daughter's room. They come sit in my room, or we go sit in the living room and watch a movie, and get rid of our home for $30 for 4 of us.
So it's safe to say. I think it's safe to say, since Ralph kind of represents the single dude, whatever, and I believe that it's safe to say that families will, families, couples, whatever, would probably not even. Well, I don't even say as much as couples. Families would definitely benefit more off of that deal than single people, or even couples for that matter, for some reason. Because some couples might say, hey, I still like to go to the movie for the experience, and it's $30. Basically, if they don't buy nothing else, it's $30 for them two to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. It's possible or feasible to say that. But now take that, what I just said, and go close your eyes and think about the last Marvel movie you went to, and look around at how many families were in there.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? A lot. Kids, people it annoyed the shit out of me, because I hate when kids come to movie theaters. So, that's what I'm saying. So now you have multiple kids, parents that came with 2, 3, 4 kids at a time. For them to get this opportunity to watch it at home, oh yeah, they're gonna jump on that opportunity. And I believe so. So before we move on, because we gotta get on to the thing, to the tournament or whatever. My question to you, Ralph, was, so with all of this being said, do you think that, by your best guess, educated guess, do you think Black Widow, if they decide to put it on there, that Black Widow will make a substantial amount of more money than Mulan did?
Oh, that's unequivocally. Of course it would. Of course it would.
Right.
I've never doubted that one at all. My question is, would Black Widow on the streaming service make more than it would in the theaters? Right. Now, the other part of the question, if you're gonna ask me, well, Ralph, would Disney be smart to put Black Widow on their streaming service? That's the question. My answer to that question will be this: if this pandemic lasts longer than what most people predict, all right, and you keep announcing we're pushing Black Widow back, we're pushing it back, we're pushing it back, then yeah, it does make sense to put it onto the streaming service. That makes total sense, right? And as I was saying, my testing, you're coming with a number saying, well, it pulled in 9 million subscribers, right? 9 million people tuned in to look at Mulan at least once. Okay. So for all I know, and that's just me, let's say that figure before the new people came in, the subscriber base was like 8.5. So you have 500,000 more people sign up for Disney Plus to watch this. So now you're 9. But what if you add 9 right now and Black Widow comes on and that jumps from 9 to 15? That's a much stronger indicator that this could possibly be the way to go.
No, I agree with you there, because if it's 15, now you're looking at, over a $500 million,
Exactly.
in revenue. You know what I'm saying? But and also remember, let's just say in the theaters it would have still made a $500 million. Don't forget, we still have to tack on the extra money for the Disney Plus, the fact that they don't have to split it with the theaters, and whatever they get when they release it in the theaters, whether it's international or not, you tack that on top as well. So to me, the answer to the question is as long as my answer to that question is as long as they at least match the subscriber base, which we all agree that they definitely can, if not surpass it, or definitely will surpass it. As long as you match it or surpass it, you will make more money than you would have made in the theaters because of the other factors that you have to put in there. The factor, like I said, straight money, uncut money that they would normally have to give to the theater, and they are going to still release it at least internationally in the theaters. That's more money coming in.
Right. And
so that's why I think it's fair to say.
Right, because then you are bypassing theaters in the U.S., right? So the money that you would have got from theaters in the U.S., you're getting from your streaming service. I'm in total agreement with that, but I'm just saying, and when I keep saying Mulan wasn't the movie to really gauge that, say, it's a movie to take a look at and say, maybe this is possible. But your real test, it's like, listen, it's like right now. With the Giants, Saquon Barkley is out, so you stick him in there now against the team they played yesterday, and your running back scores. He rushes for 200 yards, right? But next week you're going into Kansas City. That's going to be your real test. It wasn't the team you got pushed in the service. The Kansas City is going to be your real test. Can you do half of what you did against whatever team you played yesterday against Kansas City? That's your test.
I get what you're saying. Where we're at not agreeing on is I'm looking at it from if you have to the projections are only made off of past stuff. When you write projections, when we write, when I do a film budget and I write projections on, when you do film budgets, right, and you pitching a film to someone, right? No, an investment in a film is what that word is. It's an investment. There's no guarantee that you will get your money back if you put in money into a film, right? You only go off projections. So the projections, how do you get those numbers? You take past films that they did and say, so if they're trying to sell me on Black Widow, they're going to say, how do I know Black Widow is going to even make this money? Well, let's look at the fact the only film that we put out there that was going to be in the theaters was Mulan. Mulan made X amount of money based on that, blah, 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 right? So it's like, okay, we knew that Mulan had get this amount of money, right? No promotion, blah, blah, blah. We know that the fact that the MCU comes with a ton of fans that will, based on the past projections, they will support this film. So this is what's telling me, yes, it's worth putting it out there. That's how I look at what your test is. You can only test on projections, on things that you've already done. Because yes, it's still going to be a
Agreed.
test when you put it out there. Of course, you're going to say, well, the ultimate. Now, like you said, you might be 100% right, Ralph. They might be betting the farm on if they put Black Widow in the theater. I mean, in streaming service, and it goes off the charts, and they make $1 billion from it. Then they're gonna be like, okay, there's the final. I can agree with you by saying, okay, that's our final decision maker. That's the deal breaker. We put the bigger film in the streaming. It did extremely better as we projected. It did better. So now, yeah, we could go ahead and put the rest of the films on there. I could see them saying that. But like I said, I don't think that the projections that they got based on the numbers, based on what they did with Mulan, I believe that was definitely part of the strategy. That's why, you put it out there. Because remember, we talked about this before they even did it. Remember when when Universal was putting the stuff straight to then we had that show when I was reading right off of the thing about
right.
Universal, then they stopped changing the deals. Remember Kev, who called it, said, he said Disney was no part of that restructure of the theater thing. They were not part of that negotiation for a reason, because they never really had any intentions on being part of that restructure. The new, instead of it being the 60 day or the 90 days going down to 17 days, blah, 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 because their idea, their plan was to just do this, what they just did. You know what I'm saying?
But even what you just said, the projections, I mean, realistically speaking, since I can't even say this ain't Iron Man, but I'm gonna say since the Avengers, every Marvel movie that's come has been projected to generate $1 billion. Every last one of them, right?
Yeah,
So, like I said,
I say after I say after Black Panther, because Black Panther was not projected to make $1 billion. That was not projected. That was a big surprise.
That was a big surprise. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
people did not expect that to make that money.
We could legitimately say that it could have been expected to gross at least $500 million. I'll go $500 million. Right. Every single Marvel movie has been projected to gross at least $500 million. So if you have Black Widow, and you're probably thinking, well, it had the potential to gross $500 million. Okay, but if you put it on Disney Plus and it makes the same amount of money, not even because that 300+ million you're talking about also includes international. If it makes $300 million, if it makes less than what Mulan did, you say, wait a minute, what happened here? Right?
Yeah,
and now you put
can anyone? That's a big if, Ralph. Can anyone legitimately make that projection logically based on the logic?
Sure.
Are you making that projection? Are you projecting that it's not going to make as much money as Mulan?
Because we could look at it like this. Like, remember when the Transformers came out? The original one came out. The second one came out, made $1 billion. Everyone after that keeps going down in profit. The last three keep going down, right? Because for whatever reason, and we all know the reason why Transformers is going down, but that happens to a lot of different franchises: Star Wars, Harry Potter, hell, what other franchise? In any franchise that has multiple ones, very few of them continue to keep going up. Marvel.
And why do you think that though, Ralph? Think about the movie. Think about what you have to do to go to the movies. You have to make the time. You got to make the effort. You got to go out. I know dozens of people that still don't go to the movies because they just don't want to be bothered with it. But imagine if you just had to go to your couch.
I agree. Listen, it sounds nice in principle. This is the same thing that guy Sean Parker was trying to do. This is the exact same thing that he was trying to do 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I am in total agreement. However, I'm looking at it from the business standpoint. If I got a movie that I know can make me this company $1 billion, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm taking, and actually it makes more because you take what it grossed in the theaters, right? Then you throw in all the extra money from DVD sales, home video sales, selling it to cable, so on and so on. So it makes more. But let's just stick with the billion in theaters. If I say, okay, because we got a pandemic, we're gonna put it onto streaming, and it only grosses a quarter, 1/4 of what it could have made in the theater. That's not smart business because all you're doing is covering what you would have spent to make the movie. You haven't gotten any profit because always got to be some kind of profit. If you have a movie that costs $200 million to make, and then you said marketing whatever it costs you it says 300 million. You put it in the streaming and it only makes you 300 million, then you have no profit. It's a bomb.
No, of course but here's the deal. Remember, these numbers that we just put out there, that number is just the money, the $30, the 9 million times $30. It's not counting the 57 million it made in international theaters, and it's not counting the $12.99 or whatever it is, $15 that you had to pay on top of that $30 to get Disney Plus. So times that time. So now you take another what's Disney Plus, Kev? What's it cost?
Wait a minute,
What is it?
I'm looking at this budget.
$7?
All right, Wes, wait a minute. I'm looking at this figure here. It says that for them to make Mulan, right? The budget alone on Mulan is $200 million. $200 million. Right? You're estimating
$200 million, yeah.
$200 million to make. And even though they stopped marketing, but it was in theaters, there were commercials and trailers for all this stuff. So let's say they threw another moderate 25 million into marketing. Now you had 225. You said it made $320 million. So you only got $70 million of profit.
I said, you still have wait. No, but listen, Ralph. Like I said, the first bit of numbers is based on just the $30 extra. You got to tack on. Let's just say, because let's just average the even though Disney Plus right now, just Disney Plus is like $7, $8, right? $7.99, whatever.
It's $12.99.
It's $12.99 for everything.
No, it's 12. No. Disney Plus is $6.99. It's only $12 if you decide to hit the ESPN and Hulu.
Exactly, and then there's a lot of people that do that. That's why we're averaging on the top. Let's take the top number because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get the Hulu and the ESPN. So we can't go in the middle. So even if we go in the middle and say $10, right? Let's say $10.
Now that I didn't even know because I've been thinking about it. I keep seeing $12.99. I didn't know what Kev just said that there was two different prices.
Okay, so let's go and let's meet in the middle and say $10.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have people that's gonna pay the $12.99 because they're gonna want to get Hulu because it's a good deal, right?
And, that's Hulu with commercials. That's not Hulu without commercials. That's Hulu with commercials.
Okay, fine. Let's say $10, right? So now you take $10 times 9 million subscribers. That's $90 million on top of that extra. Okay, so you had the first number, then you take that 90 million, put it on top of it. Now you take the 57 million they made in theaters and put that on top of it. They made a great profit.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I like how that sounds. And that's all I've been saying from the last 90-something minutes is that you basically you need a bigger shark. You need a bigger shark. Mulan ain't the shark, but Mulan is the baby shark. You need a Mulan. You need a whale. That's what you need. You need a whale.
Baby shark.
You need a bigger shark.
Baby shark. Baby shark. You need father shark. Daddy shark. Oh my God! You know I have a newborn, y'all. So I got a little infant. She's not a newborn no more. She's an infant now. I got an infant now, so she be watching Baby Shark.
But now you need a whale. You need a whale.
I mean, that's definitely gonna.
Black Widow would be the whale. Black Widow is the whale.
Black Widow's gonna be the whale. But I mean, like I said, if I'm not a gambling man, but I would by far, if I was a gambling man, I'm putting my money on Black Widow at least doubling what Mulan did. And if they double what Mulan did, then they made if as much or not or more than what they would have made in the theaters.
Right.
Anyway.
So then if Black Widow comes on and it does that, it doubles what Mulan made.
I
Let's
think
say
it's going
Black,
to do more than
right,
double. It's going to probably triple.
but let's say this thing extended further, and you like Kev said, you have the Eternals. You'd feel a whole lot more comfortable from Disney standpoint putting the Eternals on your streaming service, then keep telling the public, "Oh, we're going to push it back a couple months. Oh no, we're going to push it back a couple months. No, we're going to push it back a couple months." You say, "No, no."
Well, yeah, of course you feel if you're gonna say okay, you put that. But like I said, once again, to me, Ralph, it all adds up. You use Mulan as your first test to say, okay, this is a theater movie, whether it's going to be a hit or miss or not. This is our theater movie that we're going to put on the streaming service. We made this amount of money. Now we're going to try to step it up a notch and put our blockbuster theater movie on the service. That does well. Then yes, it sets you up to do Eternals and all that. Because Eternals, they spent more money on Eternals than they did on Black Widow. You know what I'm saying?
Sure they probably
so
have.
now, they definitely did. So just to have Eternals now, yes, now they have to say they still have to. That's a decision they got to make as well. Okay, they might have spent $300 million on the Eternals. You know what I'm saying? That they spent more than they did on. They definitely spent more than they did on Mulan, and they spent more than Black Widow as well because of the the storyline and stuff and the characters. You have to, So regardless, plus you got, ScarJo has made her name as a big name through the MCU, but now you're talking about Angelina Jolie. You know what I'm saying? And you got other people that said that. So of course you're gonna spend more money. So speaking of Angelina Jolie, so let's get to this. This battle. Yeah.
Hey, one last thing before we hang up on that topic. Also, Black Widow costs less to make than Mulan. Black Widow costs it costs between 150 and 200 million.
Makes sense.
It's
even
probably
less.
Yeah,
so it's going to do way more. So it's even less than what they spent on Mulan, which makes sense. Mulan, they had the big battles and all those different people. That whenever you're doing something that has a big epic war scenes and stuff, you're gonna spend that money. Black Widow, yes, I can imagine that makes sense that they spent less money because number one, you already had ScarJo contracted. You know what I'm saying? She was already probably involved. You got the other people. That makes sense. So now that puts them even more That
makes me feel a whole lot. That if that was exactly, I would feel a whole lot more comfortable. But before let me ask you guys a question before we jump off this topic. And this is something to do with Black Widow, but not. I work at Walmart, right? And they already released in May the Black Widow toys, and now we have the Wonder Woman toys, right? Should the toy companies with these moves not be released? Should they have held the toys back? Because now I've seen what Cheetah looks like.
I don't, but you already saw what Cheetah looks like in the trailer. But I get what you're saying. But the toy companies are notorious for that. They don't wait on movies.
No,
they're notorious for that. They did that with
They did it
with Mad movies. Yeah, they do it with Mad movies. They've been doing that for decades, for years.
The toys, you gotta remember, the toys are always going to release before the film because that's a part of promotionals.
Yeah, that's also part of promoting the thing, because I remember even back when I was a kid, back in the 80s, with Star Wars toys. I had Star Wars action figures that I didn't even know who the hell they were until then when I saw the movie. I'm like, it's Greedo.
Under normal circumstances,
Hammerhead. You know what I'm saying? Like Hammerhead didn't even make he didn't even really say much in the movie.
He was just
there. I had the toy.
But under the normal circumstances, I understand. But I'm saying because we are actually now in this demic where the movie that you have the toys for is theoretically being released indefinitely. Do you not think it might have been a smart thing to hold back putting the toy out, because these are unique circumstances?
No, because number one, these toys have already been made. They need to start making their money back, and kids are at home. Kids need stuff to do. Parents are ordering more stuff online than ever before. So, because nobody's really going out to malls, there are no more Toys R Us. There's no more Play Worlds. There's no more none of that stuff. The only place you can get toys is Target and Walmart. So a lot of parents are ordering stuff online if they're not venturing out to the Targets and Walmarts. So right now, yeah, they're releasing those toys because number 2 Christmas is coming up. Well, you might as well say Christmas is here.
Yeah, it's here. So yeah, you're right, Kev. They definitely. I agree with Kev. Is it's not a smart move to hold off. Because like you said, you got Christmas here. You got to get these toys out now. Yeah, I mean, you get not only you got toys out. They, a lot of people putting out. Well, I mean, we don't know how Halloween costumes, everything else. Shit.
Yeah, that too.
I saw Halloween costumes for the boys. I saw there's A-Train, the female ones. They already, season 2 just started, and they already got a costume for Stormfront from the boys, a Halloween costume. So I mean, yeah, you have to get it from a toy standpoint. You got to get a jump on it because you don't want to wait till they see it and then rush to put it in the stores. You want it sitting in the stores after they see it for the first time so they can run to the store and get it, even if they haven't gotten it yet. So you want it in the store already. Some people like me, I just played with any goddamn toy. So if I saw something, even if I didn't know who it was, I bought it. I was like, I'm gonna buy this. So, but not everybody does that though. You know what I'm saying? Some people, if they don't know the character, they're not gonna buy it. So
here's the follow-up question. Mm-hmm. Since we're talking about Black Widow, and they don't put the movie in the theaters, it goes to on demand. Do the toys all then become collectibles?
No, not necessarily.
It's still just toys.
Because I was thinking I rode by my movie theater just before it reopened, and they still had the posters up for like Ghostbusters, for example, and it says coming summer 2020, but it's not. So that poster has become a collectible.
Well, that becomes a collectible. Yeah. That's definitely a collectible. That's a different thing, something like that. But the toys, I wouldn't say. I mean, you never know. It all depends.
Only the promotional items would be like the physical promotional items, like pens, posters, one sheets, any kind of Funko Pops that may have come through commercial deals and stuff like that. Anything that's regular retail is unless they do a limited number of them. Anything that's not retail, anything that's promotional products is things that may become collectible items as long as they're low in number of how they were made. If it's anything that's made over 1,000, if there's more than 1,000 made of it, it's not really going to be a collector's item.
Mm. I was just wondering because I was like, maybe I should just grab a couple and just like put them into
I do it anyway. I do it anyway because you never know.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd walk up in the middle of the night, break the glass, and take the damn post out.
Oh, for real. I get that shit anyway. So before we go into
that for a minute, man. But
now you can't say it. Now you can't do it. You done said it on.
See, that's why I didn't want to be on camera. Y'all never saw me.
Yo, you're stupid. Yo, all right. So before we go into the thing, I just wanted to drop.
Y'all never saw me. You never saw me. You never saw me.
What do you call it? Joseph has said that we was talking about when we mentioned Angelina Jolie, Maleficent. He said. Angelina Jolie makes a great Maleficent, and which is true. I agree. She was a great Maleficent.
Yeah. She's overrated. Sorry.
Stop that.
Let's see.
Stop that.
I'm trolling. She's overrated.
She said, man. He said Angelina Jolie was a beautiful villain. She actually is a beautiful villain. I mean, she's a pretty good villain. I'd like to see her do more villainous roles. That would be kind of cool. I'd like to see it. Like I said, we talked about that last.
She took Jennifer Aniston's man. I mean, how much more villainous can you get?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
What do you call it? We talked about it last week. We talked about it last week, Ralph. We was like she would be. I'd love to see her and her opponent. Charlize Theron in a film together. I would like to see them opposite of each other, to be honest. One of them being the villain and one of them being... Who would be the better villain, though? Would it be Charlize or would it be Angelina? Who would be the better villain of the two if they had a villain? All right, let's jump to the joint. So last week we was trying to do it, so we're gonna do it this week. Boom. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. Angelina Jolie, Charlize Theron, and now keep in mind, probably between the three of us, most of these movies, not all of them, we've probably seen. I know there was a couple of entries we talked about it last week, Ralph. I don't remember what they were, but
I remember Dark Places, but Charlize Theron I never saw or heard of, and
I saw that.
everything on her list I've either seen or heard of. Every last one.
Okay, I've seen Dark Places. As far as anything else that I didn't see, I don't remember seeing. I never saw Trapped. On.
No, I did see Trapped.
You saw Trapped?
I think that's the one with her and Kevin Bacon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Kevin Bacon was in it. Yeah, most of this stuff I did see too. I don't think I saw a Young Adult. I didn't see that. That's one of her first films. That's like early in her years. Just like Hackers was early on Angelina's years. So anyway, what was the film you was talking about us inserting? What were we talking about inserting? Do you remember?
I said I probably would have taken out Dark Places and put in Long Shots for Charlize Theron. I probably would have put in that one, or I mean, it's a smaller role, but maybe Men of Honor, The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that. But anyhow, I don't remember where we're gonna insert them, but let's get started on the list at least. So here we go. Jolie versus Theron. First is I took some of their first films and roles. I mean, yeah, because Devil's Advocate was very low on her list. It's one of her first roles. So that's why I used it as number one. The Devil's Advocate and Gia, which I believe Charlize got nominated for an award for. I mean, not Charlize. Angelina got nominated award for Gia. I don't think she won for Gia though. I think she won for Girl Interrupted, but
Gia was an HBO movie. That's my only problem with that one. It was an HBO movie. It wasn't a theatrical movie. It was an HBO movie.
It's still a movie. It's still a movie. It just went on HBO. Like we said, Ralph, you got to get used to it, bro. Soon we will all be one. It will all be one. A movie is a movie is a movie. It's just gonna come. It's just a matter of how we access it.
Unless it's a Lifetime movie, then that shit just don't.
Oh shit! If it's a Lifetime movie, it's just garbage.
What if it's a VH1 movie?
If it's a what?
VH1. Like
But if you talk about a VH1 original movie, then
yeah,
I'm just talking about
the box
it being a movie that comes on, because HBO Plus, they're gonna start putting original movies. That's gonna be big movies.
That's true.
Hell, the Snyder Cut. Okay. All right.
That's
so yeah, number one. What are we going with?
Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate for Kev.
I don't know, man. Devil's Advocate had some. I mean, Charlize is looking mighty hot with those blonde curls. Smaller part, but I gotta give her for Gia. I gotta get to Anthony for Gia. She buried it all in literally in Gia.
Yeah. She buried it all literally. I just like Jesus Christ. Give me a second here. Let me just check one thing out. I gotta look at one thing and then I'll give you my answer and then we'll move forward. I think Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Gia as well. Um, like I said, we talk about early films, first films, whatever you want to call it. Uh, yeah, we'll go with we'll go. I'm gonna go with Gia. Okay, so we go with Gia. So Gia goes. Kev, do your thing, please, and keep score. So one for Miss Angelina Jolie. Number two, Angelina Jolie was in Hackers. That was the film. If people remember, there was a few people in that film with her, wasn't it?
Her husband was in the movie, and I know that's the only person I really remember was in the movie was her husband.
Oh, her
Hackers,
husband at the time. Say again, Kev.
Hackers for me.
Yeah, Hackers was dope.
I
wanted
gotta
to
go with
rewatch
Hackers too because I've never seen Young Adult, so I gotta go with Hackers.
Young Adult.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I gotta go with Hackers. I'll never see it. All right, so Hackers again. So not Hackers again. Hackers it is, I should say. So that was Angelina. So that's Angelina again. Number three is The Bone Collector, Angelina Jolie versus the astronaut's wife.
And fuck you for making us have to choose between the two of these.
Ralph, could you please hit us with the cutthroat?
Because Angelina is like the second lead. Is really a Denzel's movie, but she's the one doing all the legwork, so to speak.
Literally.
Literally.
Oh God, that was bad.
Man,
You're like doing all the legwork, literally doing the legwork.
I know.
But the astronaut's wife, though, the performances on the astronaut's wife,
We're
I
great.
mean,
It was good.
it was just great.
It was good. Yeah. Great performances from both ladies in these films.
Ah,
But even though to see, here's the downside with this one is that with astronaut's wife, Johnny Depp had more screen time. Angelina,
well, it was his film. Yeah.
Charlize's screen time wasn't as, even though Angelina was a little bit more heavily involved because she was literally his legs and his eyes on the ground. I mean, man.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, just because if y'all hadn't mentioned it, I almost forgot that Angelina was his eyes on the ground for Bone Collector. I forgot it was even her.
Yeah,
it was her. She was his eyes and his legs, literally.
Yeah,
because remember she had the camera, so he'd be able to see
show
through the camera, and she was doing all of this stuff.
The TV show kind of made me forget about Angelina, because the TV show Bone Collector was just as good. Yeah, and I love the astronaut's wife, but only because of Johnny Depp, because he did such a good job with that.
That's true. I'm gonna go with Angelina again for Bone Collector.
Yeah, I gotta go with Angelina again.
Because astronaut's wife, even though she's the wife, but really without Johnny Depp, would Charlize have been brought? I don't think it would have been any good without Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so we got Angelina again. Okay, now we got Girl Interrupted, award-winning film for Angelina Jolie, with against the Cedar House Rules, with Charlize.
Man.
Didn't see Cedar House Rules, so.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
No.
I saw both. I liked
that
her
was
in House Rules. You know,
I did like her in Cedar House Rules.
But once again, that even though it's Tobey Maguire's movie, the real starting movie is Michael Caine. I mean, Charlize Theron.
And see how I think the thing is, see, what's going to happen is almost the same thing. I see what's happening is almost the same thing that happened with the De Niro thing. Remember how De Niro got out to such a big lead at first?
Yeah.
And then and then Pacino started catch up near the end. I think that's what's gonna. By the time we get to the middle films and end films, Charlize is gonna start catching up. You know what I'm saying? Because she had less of roles early in her career. Like Jolie had more leading roles and have more meat in her. You know, heavy supporting and second leads like roles early in her career. I think that's where it's coming from. Going to 60 Seconds, she was supporting. She was the female lead, but she was the supporting character of Going to 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so we're still at Girl Interrupted. Girl Interrupted, she was the second lead, right? Or the lead.
I'm gonna. It's a real toss up, but I'm gonna, because I guess I'm gonna go with Jolie because she did win an Oscar for it, and it's hard if it's a role you want an Oscar for. You know, it's hard really to compete against that. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes people get Oscars and like, nah, that wasn't the role. But yeah, she really did deserve it. So I'm gonna give it to Angelina.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. So yeah, we're going with Angelina again on that one. Kev didn't see the House Rules.
That was a good movie too. I'm surprised Kev didn't see that one. You definitely check it out.
Once again, he may have it in his collection and just didn't watch it.
even Erykah Badu was good in the movie.
I can tell you that movie. I can tell you that movie is not even in my collection.
Oh yeah,
I know for a fact. I never even heard of it.
Got it as a coaster or something. You probably got like you probably using it like underneath a table or something. Don't even realize it. Hold it up.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be my slider. And it's running. Oh damn! Inside the House Rules.
See the House Rules. Yeah, Inside the House Rules. Yeah, that's funny. All right, so number 5, Gone in 60 Seconds versus number 5, The Italian Job. I believe this is my first Charlize win for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going with her character, and her character was more interesting in The Italian Job. I mean, now granted, I loved Angelina in Gone in 60 Seconds. She was sexy, you know what I mean, and all of that. But her character was interesting too. But I'm going with The Italian Job. This is my first Charlize win.
I'm agreeing with you with that one. It was a better role.
It was a better film too.
Yeah, it was a better film because I mean the real star of 60 Seconds is not even Nick Nolte. It's that damn fire. What is it? The Firebird.
It's the car.
You know, I mean the Mustang.
Yeah,
The Mustang. The real star.
That's the real star. Not even Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Okay. So we that's 2. I mean, that's 2 over. I don't know Kev. What's your decision either way though?
I could. I'm down the middle. So
flip a coin, Two-Face.
Yeah, basically. I really could kick right either one. I mean, I think I like 60 Seconds a little bit more. I've seen Gone in 60 Seconds more than I've seen The Italian Job because I think I've only seen The Italian Job once. But I did like it. It wasn't a bad movie. I did like it.
Gone in 60 Seconds. For some reason, Gone in 60 Seconds ends up on TV a lot. I see that on TV a lot. TNT just ran that shit into the ground.
Yeah,
I think The Italian Job was on the Paramount Network either last week or the week before they ran it. Like for their summer movie blockbuster, they ran The Italian Job.
I don't even want to talk about this. There's 3 things that I don't want to talk about right now: the Paramount Network, HBO Max, and there's one other one because Amazon is pissing me the fuck off. I pay for HBO Max every goddamn month, and I cannot watch it unless I watch it online because I can't get it on that or on Roku or the Paramount Network. Yeah, it's
really they don't have HBO on Roku, HBO Max.
Nope, you can't get HBO Max. You can't get HBO Max on Roku. On Amazon, you can't get HBO Max, Peacock, or Paramount, and it's pissing me off.
You sure it's not effective or something? I mean, that's a lot.
No, it's not effective. I got the latest device because that was an issue. Like when I had my YouTube TV, I couldn't watch YouTube TV on 2 of my devices because the device actually needed to be updated. And
So
they
what
didn't
device can you get HBO Max on then?
You have to do it on. You either do it if you have a cable subscription service.
Oh
You can
wow,
watch
they
it
wildin'.
or
I'm gonna be
you,
doing
or
that
you
shit
watch
or
it
app on
directly,
my phone,
or you do it, or you have to do it as an app on your phone. Like
and I
I
will
pay
be
for it.
casting that shit right from my phone to my TV. That's how I'm
I
doing
didn't think
it.
about that. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that. Maybe that's what
just
I need to,
cast it
maybe
from
that's
your
what I need to do.
cast it from your
Yeah, I
phone
didn't
to your
think about that.
TV. Because I'll
Yeah,
be
I tend
damned if I go pay for cable just to get HBO Max. That ain't happening. I'm not doing that.
yeah. So
Yeah. I'll be casting that
I
shit
mean,
from my
they're
phone.
in negotiation. Amazon is in negotiations now with them. We're trying
Yeah,
to
they'll
fix
get
that,
it.
and that's just Amazon trying to get Amazon wants to add it as one of their channels, which is what's messed up because I already paid, which I understand Amazon's point because I already pay for HBO on with Amazon, so I shouldn't have to pay for HBO Max if I already pay for a subscription through Amazon. But because the subscription is through Amazon, HBO doesn't want to acknowledge that, so they want you to get it otherwise. But I haven't been able to watch shit on HBO Max or on the Paramount Network because I can't watch it on my damn Amazon Fire Stick or my Fire TV, and it's pissing me the fuck off.
No, I can
Excuse my
imagine.
language.
That would piss me off too. All right, so number 6, Laura Croft, the Tomb Raider, versus number 6, Reindeer Games.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I gotta go with Tomb Raider. I mean, Charlize looking damn good in Reindeer.
Reindeer Games, yeah, she did.
But,
She looked really, but so
looked
did.
real.
But Angelina looked really good as Laura Croft.
Yeah, she did.
So, yeah,
Not for nothing, but I think she actually looked better in the Cradle of Life than she did in Tomb
Yes.
Raider.
yeah.
When
Yeah, she
when she
did.
came
I
out
agree
the
with that.
ocean in that bathing suit, I was like, Lord. You know,
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, she did look good. She looked really good in
that's
that.
just my opinion.
All right, so another. All right, Kev, that's another one. Not for Angelina. Okay, number 7 is Original Sin. Angelina Jolie and what's his name? Antonio Banderas in their little screw fest, and versus North Country, number 7 on Charlize. I actually, to be honest with you, I hated Original Sin. I'm going with North Country. Original Sin had the sex scene, and that was it. I did not like that film.
I'm taking North Country. She did a damn good job. A damn good job.
Yeah.
And I think
She
that's
did a
when I
great
really started
job.
saying that damn, maybe the girl was more than just a pretty woman. That she really has some depth to her. Because I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a real good movie.
Good film. Good.
Honestly,
good.
I'm going with North Country just because it sounds like something I would watch, and I think I may have watched it. I just can't remember. But but I will have to say this. I don't know why, but over the last couple of months, I've been starting to turn my back on Charlize Theron a little bit because it just keeps coming up in my head that she's South African, and for some reason, deep down inside of my head, I just think she's a racist.
Wow.
That's funny. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not even going to get, because we don't do the politics thing. I'm not even going to get into the whole social, whatever you want to call it. I mean, in my opinion, she's batshit crazy for the things that she does outside of the film world, but she's a goddamn good actress. So
Yeah.
I think she's batshit crazy, but she's a great actress. So
wait. If you had the opportunity, which one you step into, Jolie or Theron?
I tell you, I would go. They're both a little bit batshit crazy, but I think you've been asked this before. One of the other, like at the end of one of the other shows. I for one think it would be more fun to hang out with Angelina Jolie. That's what I think. I think she would be a little more fun. She seems like a little more
fun if she would be more enlightening.
outgoing.
She would be more enlightening. Charlize Theron. That I think that's. Listen. I've dated crazy. I've dated a whole lot of crazy. I was married to crazy. Charlize Theron she has hand problems. and she's probably verbally abusive too. So no,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it.
Plus, she's probably racist, like you said. No, but anyway, yeah.
The sex is probably better with Charlize Theron though.
No. I don't know. I could. That's arguable. That's arguable with Jolie, man. Come on. But you know,
I don't know. I kind of agree with Kat. I think the sex is better with Theron. There's something about
it. Might be. But I don't know. I think Angelina. She's definitely more fun. I think. I definitely think she would be more fun to hang out with.
If this was Jolie from 10 years ago, it'd be a different story. I would take her hands down. But Angelina Jolie now, kids, you're a Goodwill ambassador. I don't know if you're.
That means what exactly? That means what exactly?
I think that her mind is
he means she ain't as freaky as she used to be. That's probably what he means.
Ralph, we both know that goodwill and good intentions does not turn off the freak button.
Wait, hold. Not for nothing. I mean, she did. Her and Brad Pitt have divorced, so perhaps that freak button did go off on her.
Yeah. It ain't never got turned off. That woman
exactly. It never got turned off. Now all of a sudden it's off, and now that her mind is geared towards so many other functions, good. Like I said, good ambassador, mom, and maybe sex is like a little further down on her agenda. Whereas 10 years ago, it was like.
I'll put it like this. I'll put it like how Rihanna said it. She needs something in her life right now.
Yeah. Well, I think, that's all funny. So anyway,
I whipped this out.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, so we got North Country winning that. Number 8, Beyond Borders, Angelina Jolie versus number 8, Trap, Charlize Theron.
I hate giving Angelina. And I'm gonna go with Angelina. Trap was pretty good, but really, I like Courtney Love more in the movie than I like Angelina.
Than Charlize.
Yeah.
And Trap was pretty good though. It's so funny, man. Somebody just texted me. They was like, "It's amazing how all of y'all have seen these films." Yo, I don't know if that's a compliment or what.
That was a DL kicking the nuts. Like,
was that shade? Was that shade?
Y'all don't have nothing else to do with your time.
Who said it? I ain't even gonna call out who said it. I ain't gonna put them on blast. But I'm like, is that shade? Did they just shade us by saying,
that is low key, y'all some nerds. That's shade.
That's what I'm thinking.
They said, and they put capital words, amazing. It's amazing that y'all seen all of these movies.
That's some straight hate.
Their mind is probably blown, but at the same time, they're probably like, damn, these niggas ain't got no life.
I know. Like y'all sitting at home in your mama's basement with a stack of VHS tapes. That's what y'all doing. Y'all ain't even move the DVD. Y'all got VHS. Y'all just sitting in your mama's basement watching movies. She's like, okay, mama, hey, make me some pork chops and mashed potatoes, and I'm putting on.
But here's the side note on this. The side note to this is the fact that for the movies that we haven't seen on these lists, the list is up to go back and make sure we either purchase these movies or make sure this on our watch list to go back and watch.
But I'm telling you, when I looked at the list, like I said, it was safe to say at the top of the show, between the three of us, we've seen all of these movies.
Let's just say I've been on a lot of dates. That's all.
That's the thing that I don't want to stay stuck on this, but that's the thing that people don't realize is that and specifically for the three of us, I know that I'm probably being factual between the three of us. a lot of these movies that we've seen, it's either been on dates or with family members. Or
Exactly.
it's been either with our Ralph. I know you don't have kids, so it's been
But
with
I
our parents.
can't. Yeah,
or-
I can't
But
remember
I got
any. I didn't see really any of these films with my family. Almost every single one of them. I could maybe say I saw Maleficent with my grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like other than that, all of her movies I've never seen with anybody other than a date. Right. Yeah, no, I never. I mean, me and my daughter go to the movies and stuff a lot, but I didn't see any of these movies. Most of these movies that I've seen, if I didn't see it by myself, like on cable or TV or something like that, I saw it in the movie. If I saw it in the movies, it was with somebody, like a date or something.
A lot of these
I can definitely now for me, I can definitely take and maybe I don't know how much Ralph can, but I know for me, I can definitely take the badge of I have no life. I need to get a woman because I've seen a lot of these movies in the theater by myself, and I'm not ashamed.
I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna say this. Exactly, how I saw a lot of movies. It was called Blockbuster. The Blockbuster special, four movies for $5, and you had them for 5 days. Hey,
for real,
I got 5 days to watch a movie a night.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So let's get back
y'all
to
generation
the
don't
list.
know about Blockbusters.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that.
Y'all really missed out.
I'm not gonna blast out who said that, but that's funny. But I'm a flip it and make it a compliment.
I need names.
No, I'm a flip it and make it a compliment.
As I take it as
I'm
shade.
gonna take it as a compliment. I'm gonna take it as a compliment. That's how many dates I've been on. I've seen all these movies. Anyway, so Trapped or Beyond Borders? With that being said, since we've seen,
I'm taking Beyond Borders. I had to take.
Okay. Well, Kev, what do you think? I think I might go with Trapped, but what do you think?
I'm with
Kev?
Ralph on this one. On this one.
Beyond Borders. All right, so there you go. Chalk another one up for Angelina. Okay, now this is going to be a watch. I mean, it's not a watch. This is going to be an automatic. The Good Shepherd, which was a good film, but versus Monster. To me, it's not even a question. Monster is definitely the winner here.
Monster, yeah.
Saying even if you didn't see it, just for the fact that you know that she took home the Oscar for this film, you can't.
And I still haven't seen that movie, but she just looks weak.
Bro, she is so good
totally
in this
unglam.
film, bro.
Totally unglam.
Yeah, you can't even tell it's her. Like that's one thing. Now the difference between they're both good actors. The difference between the two though is Charlize is a character actor. She's willing to go the extra mile to create and become the character. Angelina, now don't get me wrong. Girl Interrupted, Angelina looked real not Angelina, right? But she always does kind of look like Angelina, whether she looks roughed up or not. She always looks like Angelina. Charlize, there's a number of films on her list where she doesn't look anything like her. Yeah, she transforms.
She's a Robert De Niro.
She's like out of those two where De Niro, where we always said before that Pacino kind of always is Pacino, even though he's really good, like with Scarface, he was, yeah, but De Niro was a completely different person in a lot of his films, especially.
Yeah, Pacino just changes the volume in his voice and the accent.
It opens his eyes a little more.
He's either yelling or he's talking or he's whispering.
Yeah. So Monster on that one. Charlize. Okay. Anne Flux, number 10, versus Angelina, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh shit. God damn. I'm not. I'm not
now I'm gonna add fuel to the fire and play devil's advocate. I know that same person who texts me is probably thinking the fact that y'all motherfuckers saw a film called Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Listen,
Man,
I love the cinematography of that damn movie.
Yeah, it was a really
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good cinematography. It was very visually, especially for its time. It was a visually stimulating. Very nice. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
It really
You know
was.
what?
Honestly, so was Aeon Flux as far as visually.
Yo,
I didn't like
yo.
Aeon Flux the film that much, but visually it would look dope too.
Listen, Angelina and that eye patch look dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
But here's my tiebreaker. Here's my tiebreaker, and I'm going with Aeon Flux, and I'm going to tell you why. Aeon Flux came out when I was with, and both of these movies came out when I was with one of the loves of my life. But at the same time, I have in my possession from Target the 5 foot by 3 foot tall panel poster that was hung up on the wall inside of Target that was backlit. I have one of those in my possession and used to have
Well,
it.
that last part you broke up on the last part.
Now see, Kev, see, you saying that shows that you don't have a light because there's something really wrong with that one.
Yeah. I have that.
Yeah,
The reason why I have that in my possession is
Kevin, I'm losing you.
Oh, you got me? Am I good?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Yeah. I have in my possession a 5 foot, a 6 foot by, I think it's 3 foot high by 6 foot long Aeon Flux poster that was backlit from a marquee box that was hung up about 20 feet high inside the Target and from Bayshore. I have that poster, and my ex fiance copped that because she knew that was my movie, and she copped that for me, and yeah. So that's the reason why it's my tiebreaker. I do not have
sentimental reasons. That's your tiebreaker.
Yeah, I do not own, even though I own the DVD of the Captain World Tomorrow. I don't own a poster for that, unfortunately. And now that reminds me, I need to get that in my collection of movie posters.
Well, they were both visually stimulating. Neither one of the I enjoyed the World of Tomorrow film better though. I did like the way Aeon Flux looked, and Joseph Tanner did say, "Oh, it sounds like the MTV animated series," and it is. Joseph, I don't know if you knew that or not. It's based off the MTV anime series. And he also mentioned which I didn't make the list. Was the animated version of Angelina Jolie and Beowulf. We did talk about it, but because of his whole animated thing, I didn't put her in it. So that's cool. Yeah, I liked her at that too. She got Beowulf, boy. She put it on Beowulf too. Beowulf ended up hitting that, got her pregnant. She used him for exactly what she wanted. But anyway, all right. I'm going with Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow because I enjoyed the film more.
I am too, and I think I don't like Aeon Fluxes because I did like the MTV cartoon, and it tried really hard, but it just pales in comparison. And I don't think that it's really fair to Aeon Flux, but that's like the biggest knock against it that I really got is that it wasn't.
Well,
like
I mean, it's fair. You have to compare it to it because it is based off of it. So I mean, it's just like anything. It was just like what's it called? The Avatar. Well, not Avatar, but the it is Avatar. The last. What's it called?
The Last
Airbender. Yeah, it is. In the show, it's called Avatar, but the movie was just called The Last Airbender. Same difference. Like most movies that are based on either anime or even a video game for that matter. So yeah, I mean, hell, Angelina's movie was good based on the video game Tomb Raider. But, all right, yeah. So Sky Captain, that's another one for Angelina, Kev. Number 11, Alexander versus number 11, Hancock.
I'm taking
Oh.
Hancock. I'm taking
I'm
Hancock.
going
Listen,
Hancock.
I loved Hancock, but Alexander was the one with Brad Pitt and her, right?
No, Colin Farrell.
No, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin Farrell was in
um,
there. Brad Pitt was in the other movie.
Troy. That was Troy.
Yeah.
Troy. Yeah.
Yeah. And her and Brad Pitt is the next film, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The film that did it all. The film that set it up for her to get her new husband.
Steal your man. Like,
I'll take your man. Like, yeah, that's the Q Salt and Pepper. I'll take your man.
Oh, damn, you said Q Salt and Pepper. Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, I said Q up Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Hancock too. I like
Hancock,
I like Alexander, but I think I'm gonna go with Hancock.
Yeah, because in Hancock, she showed some comedic chops that I didn't see coming from her. You know, and plus a little bit of action that she did. You know,
that's the other reason why I'm going with it too. Because a lot of people tried to pan Hancock, and Hancock was pretty damn good.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was good, and I liked her character in Hancock as well. It was her first take on Aeon Flux. Okay, you can say that, but to me, it was kind of like her first take on being like superhero type character. You know, she was a god.
Technically,
really,
they weren't superheroes. Technically, they both were angels.
They were gods. Yeah, gods, angels, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, but
angel.
Yeah, but I guess to us they're superheroes. So, but at least they considered Hancock one. Okay, so do we move on? Number 12. That would be Mr. and Mrs. Smith versus number 12, Prometheus. Think of Charlize's character in Prometheus versus Mr. and Mrs. Smith character.
This is a shame. This is a shame that they made this matchup because Charlize got the short end of the stick on this matchup because it's two totally different films, two totally different tones, two different levels of action. It's kind of sad because I like Prometheus, but if comparing it between these two, which one I would have to watch, if I was given a choice, it would be Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Prometheus was on It was on HBO the other night, and I was up watching it again because it's been a minute since I saw it. And there's real elements of the movie that I like. Some parts of it I really, really liked, but compared to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I mean, you kind of sort of seen in that one Angelina, even though you kind of saw her like be like all tough in Tomb Raider, this took it to a whole another level where she was, pretending to be a wife, pretending to be faithful, pretending to be all loving, but deep down she was like a contract for hire, and now she got to kill her husband, and she kind of did it like she tried to kill him many times with no remorse.
I hate to almost make this. I hate to almost make this comparison because I like this movie too. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith was what X and Sever was supposed to be.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It damn sure was supposed to be that, not that crap that Lucy Liu, you owe me $9 for that movie because that's how bad it was. You still owe me money for that movie.
Ralph always trying to get his money back from people for this movie when he don't like their movie. Ralph always trying. But if they owe you $9,
listen. Let me tell you something. When that movie came out, right, I was all hyped to see it because I put movies in categories. I say, okay, I want to see this one. And then I say, oh, I need to see this with a crowd. I really thought I needed to see that with a crowd. So I traveled on the bus to New York City. AMC Theater, not AMC Theater, Regal Cinemas, 42nd Street, right? See, with a big crowd. And we were all like, what the hell is this? Somebody owe me some money. I'm sorry. Y'all don't know my struggle.
She not only she owe you a bus ticket, she not only owe you movie money, she owe you a bus fare.
That's right. Bus fare, cab fare, shit, toll fare. Damn. You owe me and reimburse me for the popcorn and soda. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, she got just cut you. She just got
and the chimichanga that I had that was eating.
Oh man, you can't get her for the chip. You ain't getting that, Ralph. You ain't getting
listen,
the chimichanga
Jimmy
now.
Conner.
You're not getting the chimichanga, man.
You know what? This should be a mission for each and every last moviegoer that's truly like movie fans. Like your mission in life should be to find the people that messed up in movies and ask for your money back. Go directly to their ass.
That would make a good show. That would actually make a very good like reality show.
It would.
Like just like how, you know, like one of them shows like Punked or whatever, like, you know, what you get somebody who sets you up to do that. Like, you know, somebody like an Ashton Kutcher. That should be Ashton Kutcher's next show. That should be Ashton Kutcher's. That should be Ashton's next show because he knows a lot of people.
You know how you do it? You do it with people that are in the hospital, cancer patients that are in the hospital, adult cancer patients that are in the hospital. Like my
God, that's a little too grim, Kev. That's too
my dream is to see Lucy Liu, blah 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 blah. Get her all the way to the hospital and be like, "Bitch, where my $9 at?"
You just take the money out. You just jump up off the thing. Where my money? Nah, that would be that's crazy. Okay,
you know,
so
I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost said that last year to Tyrese. You know, he was on the red carpet because he was promoting that movie Black and Blue with him and Naomi Harris.
Yeah, that was a good movie, man.
And, no, it wasn't that one. But I was like, I want my money back for Waist Deep. I really do. You know, I'm serious.
That was with him and a girl, Megan Good. Was that
Megan Good? Yeah,
Megan
I want
Good?
my money back for Waist Deep. You know.
Yeah, that's too.
I mean, okay, I was with you on the Transformers. I was with you Fast and Furious. Definitely Baby Boy. But yo, bro, Waist
Deep was garbage. Yeah, that was garbage. Yeah, that was garbage. What are we up to? Okay, so did we say? So I guess it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith is that's going to win that one. Next up, I believe that's me. Maleficent. Grab the mic for the symphony. I had to say it. Sorry. Maleficent up against Snow White and the Huntsman. Both of them Disney film, storylines brought to film.
Snow White and the Huntsman was dope, but I just Maleficent, and that's how you pronounce it. That's how you correctly pronounce it. It's Maleficent. I know this because I love this movie, and from the time that they said that Angelina was cast as Maleficent, I was head over heels for this. And I love Snow White and the Huntsman. And listen, Charlize Theron did her thing in Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, like, she was good in that.
Like I loved her in that, and I loved her in the remake in the
new one, yeah.
And the second one they made after that. But goddamn, Angelina as Maleficent, I was just like, listen, those cheekbones, those eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. That was on last night. I was looking at it last night. I was like,
fell in love with her all over again, watching Maleficent.
Yeah, she was great in that. She was great in that.
And again, no knock on Charlize Theron because Charlize Theron did her thing in Snow White and the Huntsman. She looked evil, and she was like I hated her in that because she was just pure evil in that.
Yeah.
Like Angelina and Maleficent was a different kind of evil. Like she was. I hate to. Please forgive me for saying this, but in Maleficent, Angelina was just butthurt evil.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron was. Listen. We need to get you to a therapist because you got some issues you need to work out. You need some shit you need to unpack.
She was like, yo, I'm about to call some heavy pipe hitters, with a blowtorch and some nails to take you out because you batshit crazy. That's
she
was.
She was a nut in that. She was very, like I said, the villain is that's the type of thing. It's like, and it almost shows me the reflection of both of them when picked to be a villain. Because even when Charlize plays a villain, because even when you go down a couple more films down to The Fate of the Furious, she was a pretty batshit crazy villain in that as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's take that back. She's not batshit crazy. Listen, like I said, I was married to crazy.
She was sinister.
I was married to crazy, and she is the type of crazy I was like, and listen, I don't mind hurting people that deserve it, but you just like that's another level of evil. She was just like,
Yeah.
uh,
But
yeah,
but with all that being said, she just didn't outperform
no,
Angelina and
yeah,
No.
Maleficent.
yeah. Angelina had heart. She had like Charlize, like I said, Charlize Theron was just pure evil.
Yeah.
Angelina was just hurt. Her evil came out of being hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and her characters, you slowly started to see that there was a change in her character. There was development in her character that was not to say that it was missing for Charlize, because Charlize had to be who she was because that's
Yeah.
what that character was.
Plus,
Angelina,
Angelina was the title character of the
yeah,
film.
yeah.
And she carried it. All right, so Maleficent wins. All right, next up is A Mighty Heart, Angelina Jolie, where she plays the mixed black woman film, which actually, even though she caught a lot of flack for, I think she did a really good job. I also want to say that she makes a very, very fine black woman. I have to say that too. And
Excuse
it
me
wasn't
while I whip this out.
wasn't yeah, right, wasn't blackface. People don't start with the blackface thing. And versus Tully.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm taking Tully.
No, it doesn't sound crazy. I'm taking Tully too.
You know, because she certainly did, and she did the De Niro thing by adding weight to herself to make her look different. You know, and
Yeah.
you really see Charlize when
Once
how
again.
she can act is when she's not trying to be glamorous. You know, we know
Yeah,
she's
that's
beautiful,
true.
but when she's really trying to play down her looks, it's like the acting drive kicks in, and now you're not looking at her as this tall, hot blonde. You're looking at an actress. You know, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was kind of the ending kind of messed me up that it was all on her mind. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. No, she gave her
Yeah.
husband a threesome, which is never a bad thing. So you get 2 thumbs up for that, Charlie. But did she really give him a threesome, or was it just a?
It was in the mind.
It was all in the mind.
In the mind. So yeah, but that means you know what? She would give him a threesome. So
Yeah, she would give him a threesome.
she would, even if it's in your mind, you would do it. So shoot. Remember, in certain religions, you already cheated if you cheated in your mind. So,
I don't want to hear that crap. No, it's not. Because if that's the case, and I was married, I banged Janet Jackson a whole bunch of times, and
yeah,
me and Janet Jackson, we was bringing in Rihanna. And,
yeah, you bringing up all that. Well, exactly. So,
Shanti,
all right,
that's Shanti, especially thick Shanti.
I know, right? By majority, Tully's gonna win because I'm going with Tully as well. I think once again, Charlize is always going to transform herself into the role and she goes that extra mile. So that one's gonna go with Tully. So that's for Charlize, Kev.
Yeah, I got that.
Next up is number 15 is Taking Lives, which is like a thriller, not a mystery, but it's like a thriller, right? Versus another thriller, which is Dark Places. Now, I know Ralph said you didn't see Dark Places.
I never saw Dark Places.
Which I thought it was actually pretty well done. Dark Places was not very much. The reason why I matched those up because they were both kind of like Taking Lives was a little like promoted more bigger than Dark Places. Dark Places kind of like flew under the radar, it seemed like, but it was done very well. That one was done very well as I see. The reason why I matched them up because they do seem like they're not the same film, obviously, but the same tone with the huge plot twist along with the thriller stuff going on. So that's why they both were like thrillers with plot twists. And damn, I don't know which one to take because I really liked Taking Lives. I really liked the twist in it.
I'm only taking Lies by default because I've never seen Dark Places. I think Taking Lies still sucks. I mean, it had a great. Once again, it had a great. And, large only thing, it has a really great sex scenes in it. It really does.
Yeah.
You know, but I was just like, But I never saw Dark Places, so I gotta give it to Jolie.
Okay, Kev, did you see either one?
I'm gonna go with Dark Places.
Oh man, damn. Taking Lives. I really like Taking Lives, man. But I did like Dark Places. I think Angeline. I think when it comes down to it, well, actually, Angeline's performance was good in Taking Lives, though. But Charlize might have had a better performance in Dark Places. Yeah, I'm going with Dark Places. I think her performance in it was a little better.
Oh wow,
That's only it. Yeah, just a little better. Yeah, it's probably been an upset. That was an upset. Okay, so that goes to Charlize. Reluctantly, because I really did enjoy Taking Lives. Okay, number 16. We're at 16, yeah. Number 16 is The Tourist. That was her with Johnny Depp. And number 16 is Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh shit. Oh,
no,
why?
No question,
Why?
Mad Max. I still think that Charlize rightfully was robbed of an Oscar nomination. Rightfully. And more so because it's a Mad Max movie, but it's really not his movie. It's her movie. And I mean, and not the fact that you're coming to a project, or a film series that hasn't had a new series since 1985. It's 30 years later, and you're stepping into this thing, and it's like you just saw the last one last week. It was. I mean, cinematography was awesome. I just love it, and to see this woman beating up Mad Max. Because first of all, she did kick his ass. She really was kicking his ass. But she's the focus of the film. Without her, the film sucks.
Listen,
Really.
and she still look good doing it.
Yeah, with the bald head and the hand missing, you still like.
I've seen this. I've seen Mad Max in every format that you could possibly see it in the theater. RPX, AMC's, Dolby, whatever that is, IMAX. I've seen it in everything because it's just visually. Did you
see the what they call it? They call it the still version, where it's the same movie, but they made the entire film black and white.
Black and white.
I haven't seen.
Yeah, that makes it even look better. That and Logan look better in black and white than it did in color.
Yeah. I didn't see Logan in black and white either, but all right. Well, it sounds like that's where we're going with that one.
Yeah, but slow down. You know, I'm not trying to drag out the time.
Here come the hate. Here come the hate. Here come the hate.
Ain't no hate. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Both of y'all have always been on that, but I was never high on that film. I don't know why. I just wasn't. I was never high on Mad Max Fury Road. Both of y'all like that film a lot.
I do.
I was never high on that film.
I'm high on the film, but I'm more high on her performance in it. Because I really think that if you take Furiosa out of that movie, Mad Max does not stand up. And now with the two of them, supposedly with her and Hardy were beefing on the movie, there may not be another Mad Max movie. But if you make another Mad Max movie, you got to bring her back. She has to come back.
I agree with you there, but is that fair to say? Because the way the film was written for that character, it would have been written. It's fair to say it would have been written different if the character was never in there. So you don't know if Mad Max would have. You know, Tom Hardy is definitely a good enough actor to hold the film by himself. So yes, based on the exact same film, you take that character out, but it's hard to make that. To me, it's hard to make that statement because it would be a completely different film anyway had they decided not to put that character in there. And I believe the Tom Hardy, the Mad Max character, would have been written a little bit differently and still would have held the film up.
Yeah, I need to change that. If you had someone else, the Furiosa should have stayed. But I think if you
Okay.
had somebody else playing Furiosa,
Okay,
I don't think you would have got the same kind of intensity that you got from Theron. I don't think the character.
Okay, so
Furiosa,
that makes more sense to me than saying if Furiosa's not in that film, it doesn't hold up, because like I said, it would have been written differently, and we know Tom Hardy could hold up the character because he's just a good actor. But if you're gonna say, let's just say, anyone else, Angelina Jolie for that matter, is put in there. You don't think anyone else would have been able to bring the performance that Charlize bring? Okay, I buy that. I'll go with that. Now the Tourist, honestly, I didn't really like neither one of the movies, to be honest with you. I didn't really like Mad Max Fury Road, and I didn't really like the Tourist that much either. The Tourist, I don't know. Kev, before you got cut off, what was you going with?
What I was going to say is the Tourist is in my favorite movies list with Angelina, because it has two of my favorite actors in it. It has her and Johnny Depp in it.
Love it.
I love them both in it. I love them both in that. Also, the movie was set in the south of France, which is another
That's always a good thing. Always good.
Always good. Always good.
Or was it? It was either the south of France or it was in Venice. It was one or the other. I can't remember. I think it was in Venice, actually, not the south of France.
In the immortal words of Indiana Jones, Venice.
Yeah. And I love that. I love their chemistry in that movie.
Yo, my friend is just killing. Yo, I'm getting killed right now. I'm getting nerd.
Wow.
I'm getting nerd killed right now. I get the text again because of that whole Venice thing. I get a text, quote, Venice, shaking my head.
That's either, what? I'm starting to narrow it down. That's
like your brother.
It ain't my brother. He was already on. He was in the chat room, and he said, when I mentioned that, he said, I was actually thinking the same thing. That's what he said in the chat room. He was thinking, because he came in under the IE network, and he was like, I was thinking the same thing. Y'all niggas seen all these movies? So shout out to Heaven Hollywood. No, this person says shaking my head, making fun of me now because like, how do you know these lines?
It's gotta be the homie. That's the only other person I could think it is. It's the homie. Because
I wouldn't be. No, it's not her, but she is a prime suspect too. That would have been. I would have definitely.
It's Stormy. Yeah. It's Stormy Meyer. That's who it is.
No, it ain't Stormy.
She's sitting around.
This is a friend of mine who, I don't think none of y'all know her. She's, and I just gave away that it's a she, but yeah, it's a mutual friend of mine.
Well, I knew it was a girl, but I knew it was a female. I just can't place it. But I thought it was the homie. I thought it was
my ride.
Let me call a ride or die up.
That's Yeah, she. It's not her, but yeah, she would definitely say something like that too. Yeah, only because she knows. Yeah, she would come at me like that too, but it wasn't her. All right, so who you going with, Kev? You going with the Taurus? You going with Mad Max?
This is literally hurting my feelings right now. Like if I call either one, I'm betraying.
Well. I don't know which one you're going with, Kev. I mean, go ahead. I'll tell you mine, but either one of them, I didn't love either one, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even like Mad Max Fury Road.
I mean, I just
I like the Taurus. I just didn't love it.
You know what? It's because I'm going with Mad Max Fury Road because with the Taurus, I'm kind of sort of biased because of Johnny Depp.
With you guys,
and because I'm a sucker for Bond films. I'm a sucker for any kind of international
like
type
spy
movie
films, yeah,
like that. You know, as that's
All right, so Mad
I'm
Max
just-
wins it. Then. Mad Max
And the
wins
other
it. I
reason
went
why I
with the
did it is
tourist.
because the other reason why I did it is because I knew if I went with the tourist, you was gonna go with the tourist just to squash Mad Max. So I'm
going with the tourist anyway, but it doesn't win. I'm still going to pick it. Okay, number 17. Now we get we here we go. Here we go. We down to the championship rounds. Now, number 17. Angelina Jolie, Salt, versus number 17, Charlize Theron, Atomic Blonde.
All I'm gonna say is fuck you and Salt.
Wow. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna say Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, Atomic Blonde. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Salt is in my favorite movie group right above my head.
I have to go with Salt because Atomic Blonde had better fight scenes. Atomic Blonde definitely had better fight scenes, but Salt
had more fight scenes. That's the only reason why, because it had more fight scenes.
It had more. Also, the action and see you can argue the action. The action in both was really good. You can go against
because actually fight scenes wise, they had the same amount of fight scenes because you had Angelina on the sub, you had her fighting the guys in the catacombs.
Salt had a better storyline to me. Salt had a better storyline.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going with it. Atomic Blonde, I love Atomic Blonde.
But see, for me, Atomic Blonde had the creepy villain with what's his name? McAvoy, she was getting in it. She was getting in with Sophia Boutella, which and
Sophia is bad as
Sophia could get it. She can get it right. Yeah. All she gotta do is say hi. It's coming out.
You're stupid. Excuse me, bro.
Excuse me. It's just like, oh, okay. Yes, mistress. It's coming out right now.
She fine. I gotta go with Salt though. To me, it was a little bit better storyline.
I can honestly say, if my DVD was an LP, I would have wore out the grooves.
Yeah. I mean, it was good, man. I really
watched both versions. I've watched both versions with both endings multiple times. I switch back and forth, and there's been times that I've actually watched that movie back to back.
I'm still laughing. You know what cracks me up is the black dude. I could never pronounce his name in Salt, but he cracks me up. That scene where he
Luigi Cochafor.
Yeah, Cochafor. Yeah. The scene where at the end where he's basically lets her go, but he's like, "Stop lying to me!" Like he just screams at her and then punches
the hell out of her.
Me dying, yo. I said, yo, I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but I wasn't when I first saw it.
But you know why he hit her? He hit her for two reasons. He hit her one for making me chase you.
Yeah,
for making me chase you out the FBI building. That's what out of the CIA building.
Had me running.
Then he gave her the.
Had me right here running, messing up my suit.
Yeah, that was funny though. All right, so now number 18, we go to Tomb Raider and the Cradle of Life versus number 18, The Fate of the Furious.
Tomb Raider, and I love Fast and Furious, but Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you think Fast and Furious is better than Star Wars?
I do. Man.
We're not gonna go there.
The glittery vampire. He's still talking about the glittery vampire. I ain't forgetting about that one, man.
The glittery vampire.
Like he under a permanent disco ball all the time. Get the hell out of here.
He's just throwing up.
I love you, Bella.
Throwing the glitter up.
I love you, Bella. That's why I'm not going to kill you and suck your blood. I love you too, Edward. I want to be a
throw the glitter up.
Like LeBron.
Blah, blah, blah.
I I'm taking Fate. I'm taking Fate. Fate of Furious, because at times it is nice to see Charlize play a bad guy. She kind of made Dom, which I still thought was dumb, make him like into what an Italian bald headed Terminator. Like, really? That? But she was just evil herself. And the things that she could do. That one scene where she had all the cars just turn on automatically and come dumping out in New York City was like, wow. But she made him turn. I'm going for her because she made him turn not only on his current family, but his the one who he left.
But technically speaking, she didn't make him. That was his setup for him to get inside.
She made him because he could have, because she made him turn before she even introduced the fact that I got your ex-girl and your son. She made him turn before even knowing that part, you know. But she told you, you're gonna do it. And you're gonna do it.
But you got to remember too, towards the end, he let it be known that, listen, I knew what it was all the time, and this was just the plan.
He could have been lying. No,
he could have been. I really think that he was lying.
It was. Yeah, I liked her performance in it. Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life. Obviously, Angelina is Angelina. She's Laura Croft. I think Charlize's performance was a little more interesting, so to speak, because we've already seen Angelina. It's just seen her doing, cooler things in Cradle of Life. So I just think I'm going with Fate of the Furious because I just think she did her performance of being the bad guy, being the villain, and stuff like that. So Fate of the Furious. Now, next up is Changeling. Angelina Jolie and Bombshell, Charlize Theron.
Changeling.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. That was good. But Bombshell, bro, that woman changed. My God, that woman had that. It's on record that the kid, the child of Megan, what's her name? Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly's child did a double take on the promotional poster. That's how good. Now, of course, that's also contributed to the makeup artists, to the special effects makeup people, but she really embodied that role. She even deepened her voice a little bit. She really
did. But you know what? Megan Kelly is a racist dick, so fuck Megan Kelly.
But she really,
Changeling was so emotionally gripping and just
but she kept saying, "That's not my son. That's not my son."
Listen,
being locked up. That's not my son. It's not my son. And she never changed. Never changed.
Yo, listen. I've cried in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
That movie had me by my nutsack.
Did you cry in Twilight? No, did you cry in the last Twilight? That's what I wanted. Did you cry in the last Twilight?
Actually, no. That's one I didn't cry. I did not.
I was
cry
a witness to that one. I was there for that one. The last one.
Did you cry in any of them?
No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't cry in any of the Twilights. They weren't.
Did you get misty eyed?
No, not even. Listen. Not even. Listen.
Did you you didn't get sparkly.
Listen. I keep it a buck. Like if I got an emotional interest in something, I have no problems with saying like, yo, that made me cry. Like this this new Netflix series Away. With what's her face from $1 Million Baby. Yo, listen. There's some listen. Listen, it had the waterworks running. I was in here with toilet tissue, like dabbing under the eyes, like, yo, y'all need to stop because y'all messing up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's we'll who's winning there? So who went with Changeling?
I did.
Ralph, you went with Changeling? Oh,
I'm
you did,
going with
Kev?
Bombshell because no, I gotta go with her Bombshell because yes,
No,
Angelina Jolie
Bombshell.
is very emotional and changing, but it's very hard for actors to play. I mean, let me rephrase. It's very easy for actors to play real life people, but it's harder for them to look like that person, right? I mean,
And
Jamie,
embody their character
right?
and everything that they
I mean,
did. I mean, she
Jamie
really,
Foxx,
really embodied that character.
yeah, like Jamie Foxx. If you look at him, he with the
He looked
glasses
like him.
kind of looks. If you just look at Jamie Foxx
Mhm.
up close, yes, he does look like Ray Charles. But you look him far away, that's not Ray Charles. You say the same for Chadwick Boseman. He doesn't look like James Brown. But they certainly were actively
Embodied
be
that
able to
though.
portray
They
how
embodied the
they were.
characters, yeah.
Right.
They
But
definitely embodied the characters because they took on the mannerisms, everything, got all that stuff. That's where Jamie took you where after a while you start
you, you said,
you
damn,
start
that's
looking
really
like
James.
you start thinking they look like them
Yeah.
because they took on the embodiment of it. Now, granted, Denzel Washington did look like Malcolm X when they were done putting them together, but also because he embodied the character of Malcolm X,
Right. And I
regardless of
think
the
that's
fact, whatever he didn't look like him, you automatically thought, yeah, he even looks like Malcolm. You know what I'm saying?
he's like a dead ringer. And so
Right.
that part is I think is the easy part. You can embody the character, but to embody them and physically look like them. Like they just
Yeah.
metamorphosize, and that's what she looks like. She looks like
Yeah.
Megan Kelly. I think that's double
Yeah, she
hard.
did look. She did look a lot like, and all
The
they
truth
and
is,
all and mostly what um, uh the the makeup people did was because, as you can see, Charlize has more of a round face, chin area is more rounded out, whereas Megan Kelly's got the square jaw more. So they
you
kind
know
of
what?
did
Here's
the
the
thing to
thing:
square her jaw off.
if you're a racist, it's easy to be a racist. So I don't give it to her.
She embodied that character. She did a really good job. Now I'm going with
She
Bombshell on
believes in
that one.
apartheid, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Bombshell.
Wow.
So, last
hate,
but
man.
not least, certainly not least, we just witnessed in The Old Guard by Charlize Theron, one of the bigger films on Netflix this year, or the biggest film on Netflix this year, versus Wanted. Angelina Jolie in Wanted, which is one of now, Kev, that's in one of my favorites. That's in my favorite film categories. Was
Listen,
Wanted.
listen. Don't get me wrong. The Old Guard was dope, but listen, just on the fact that you curving bullets, just on the fact that you're curving bullets with a gun. Listen,
I mean, she was everything in that film to me. She really now that's where I could say what you said, Ralph. You take her character out that film, it's not as interesting. It's still an
No, it's
interesting
not.
film, but it's not as interesting if you take that character out the film.
listen. James McAvoy did a good job. Him and Morgan.
It's still interesting because of the dynamic of the characters and all
But
that
she's
stuff.
needed.
But
She's
yeah,
needed.
she's needed in
She
that
was
film.
needed.
She was needed in
to
that
give
film.
it. Now, even with that said, could you see somebody else playing her role?
I
Honestly,
mean, let's
no.
no, honestly, I was just about to say to do the same thing I did with the other film. Let's swap them. Let's see Charlize in that role.
She could. You know what? Charlize could pull that off.
Yeah, she could pull it off.
She's sexy enough.
But
She,
the question
not
is,
even her. Not even listen. Not even her sexiness. Just her acting chops.
no,
She would be
of
able
course,
to.
that's automatic. That's
and the
automatic.
physicality. But here's the question.
Yeah, and her physicality. That part, what Ralph just said. That her physicality.
But the question is, if Charlize had played that same role when that was done, like in 2007.
Yeah, I
don't know about that.
Yeah,
I say yeah. I think
I
she
just
could.
think, yeah. I just think, like I said, yeah, it's true. But that film, without her and that character, wouldn't have been the same. Obviously, the old guard Charlize was. But I'm telling you, let's flip it. Let's flip it over though. I believe Angelina could have played the old guard. She could have played that character. I think
She could actually, and to be honest, actually, she could have played it better. She would have played it better because she would have it would have been she would have been more emotionally vested. There would have been a more of an emotional attachment between her and Homegirl than Charlize had. Again, being a racist, and again,
first of all, the views and the points of Kev is not the views and points of Real Talk on Dollhouse Radio. Because you just branded this one racist when you had even you branded this one with a racist when it hasn't even. That's your opinion. So,
I mean, I'm only saying that because she is from South Africa, and she keeps trying to force dresses on her black son. So to me, he's a racist. She has an agenda.
That means nothing. So is
that
Charlize.
Means she has a damn agenda. If she can't make it,
like I said, I don't like what she does in her personal life as far as that stuff goes. But she's a goddamn good actress, and just judging this based on what it is, I'm just going against the character for character because neither one of these are Oscar-worthy films or performances. But I'm just going on the importance of the character. Obviously, the importance of the character. Charlize was the lead character, so it is important, or one of the leads, along with the black woman. But of course, that's important. But I believe that in my opinion, I believe, I can't really swap them because, like we just said, swapping them, I think they both would have pulled off those two roles, each other's roles. But I just think Angelina was just more important to the movie, and I just liked it. I just think overall the movie. If I say I like both of their performances, overall the movie, I'm going with Wanted. I can't go against Wanted. That's one of my favorite films. So,
ultimately, it doesn't matter what you go with because Charlize Theron, the South African that she is, with her fine self, lost.
Yeah, she lost because she was. What's the final score? Well, Ralph, you said Wanted or you said
13.
Ralph, did you say Wanted or you said
No, I said Wanted.
Okay, so the final score was 13-10?
Yeah.
No, it's 13-8. No, it's 12-8. It's 12-8.
13-8.
Yeah, 12-8.
12-8.
12-8.
Yeah.
12-8 is the final score. So there you have it. Angelina Jolie is the winner. We have our first clear winner. Angelina Jolie is the clear winner of the versus Jolie versus Theron. With a win of 12. No, what was it? 12-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A win of 12-8. All right. We're gonna have to obviously wrap the show up. But next week we'll come back and we'll do a little more. We'll do another one. I think I'm gonna do it with probably do another female one. I don't know if we're gonna do the 3-way round robin. I told you last week, Kev, we were talking. I don't know if you heard. I know you wasn't on. But we're gonna do our first versus. As a matter of fact, we might be the first to do it in the whole versus universe because the original versus was talking about doing it too, but meaning like the ones that's doing it, with Timberland and them. Our first 3-way round robin. Probably only judge 10 films from these women, and it's going to be 3 actresses going against each other. So. We'll probably do that one next week, if not the week after, and then we'll get back to the other stuff. Cool.
I was thinking about this the other day. If we do a versus, I think this would be a very tough one. If we did Meryl, because I said, who are you gonna put up against Meryl Streep? The only person I think that you, on the female side, you could legitimately put up against Meryl Streep is probably Nicole Kidman. I think she's the only person that you could really legitimately put up against her.
Because she's been around She's been around kind of long, and she's got a lot of. You could probably do that. Mostly for the most part, whoever's going against Meryl's getting an L, but we'll see. We're going to get. It was fine. We got to put those together.
But would she really take an L? That's the question. Would Meryl really take that? I mean, whoever goes against Meryl, would they really take an
Meryl
L?
wouldn't take that for the most part.
Yeah, take an L against who? Wait, who did you say?
Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep.
You take an L against who?
No, I'm saying.
No,
like,
she's not taking an L. I said, as of right now, I can't think of anybody that won't take an L against Meryl Streep. That's all.
And I said, would the person really take an L? Like, could Nicole Kidman really take an L against Meryl Streep?
I mean, she may have a chance. She's got some good films. She's got a nice catalog of films. Nice long catalog of films. She's in a lot of films.
Yes, true.
We're only doing 20. Remember, we're only doing 20. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do. There's two others you could do. You could do Judi Dench, and you could do what's her
Judi
face?
Dench. I think Judi Dench also would be a good one.
Judi Dench and what's her face? The grandma that I would date.
Grandma that you would date.
She did the movie. She did the last movie with Ian McGregor.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. She can still.
Oh yeah, shit. Helen, remember she did the film with she did that film with the assassin film when they were assassins.
Yeah.
With Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's enough for me. She was in Caligula.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, let's not forget that.
That's true.
She was in Caligula. I don't care what movie you put against her when she was in Caligula. She gonna.
But
win.
I'm just talking about she was old. She was older in that film, and still got it from Cuba Gooding. So anyway, that's the show.
Oh yeah, Shadowboxer.
Shadowboxer. Yeah. Shadowboxer.
She damn sure did. She had him like a little puppy.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought about that when the what you call it came on. What's the movie? The Boys. Even though she's not half as old as how she was, but you know how Homelander is with the woman from The Boys in the first season, from old girl Elizabeth Shue with her sexy self. So there you have it, man. So next week we'll come back. We'll do some more. We'll do our thing. We'll do our thing. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Of course, Joseph, I think he checked out. Thank you, Maddie. Everybody that was on board. Sorry for we went a little long this time. We apologize for that. Went a little way later than normal. So especially on this broadcast, we usually already signed off from here and go to Blog Talk. So next week we'll be back on Blog Talk, and we're still gonna be doing this too. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.
Deuces.
And